Chapter 971. What are you talking about? Han Weiran looked at Su Yan with some fear in her eyes. Her body trembled slightly, not sure if it was from anger or fear. Don't be afraid, I won't kill you. Such a good spoil of war. If you don't use it, wouldn't it be a waste of resources? Su Yan's cold laughter made Han Weiran feel like a tiger whose tail had been stepped on. She crawled up and ran. You were arrogantly shouting for me to get on the stage. Why are you running now? Su Yan showed no mercy. He slapped Han Weiran, causing her to fall to the ground. Half of her face was swollen. Everyone present was dumbfounded. This was too domineering. Some even felt that this guy was simply a lunatic. No matter what, the Han family was still a famous clan. They were the ancestors of the mystic sect. Of course, if they knew that this person was Su Yan, they wouldn't think this way. With the direct hatred between the two, both parties wanted to destroy the other's clan, not to mention targeting one person. Boom! The vast Great Tao City emitted a vast killing intent, scattering the clouds in all directions. The bone-piercing killing intent broke the Great Tao City's eternal peace. Everyone felt as if they had fallen into an ice cave. They only felt that an overlord was going crazy. With a single thought, corpses were strewn everywhere. Do you believe that I won't kill you? Shocking killing intent filled the entire place. The Great Tao City was in an uproar. A peerless king could no longer suppress the bone-piercing killing intent in his heart. Xiaoming really couldn't sit still. He was completely infuriated by Su Yan. Brother Xiaoming, kill him quickly. Han Weiran seemed to have grabbed onto a life-saving straw and screamed continuously. Some people's faces darkened. What time was it now? Did Han Weiran still think that she was above others? This was the Great Tao battle stage. Once on the stage, it would be a fair battle. No one could interfere with the battle on the stage. Moreover, it was the Han family who requested it. The Taoist temple would preside over the situation and have a fair battle. Once he stepped onto the stage, his life and death would be determined. But after Han Weiran's defeat, she still used such a tone to speak. It had to be said that she had been spoiled by the Han family. This world still did not belong to Xiaoming. Su Yan was not the only one who was not afraid of Xiaoming. Ha 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 ha. Xiaoming, do you think I'm afraid of you? Su Yan's long black hair draped over his shoulders. His robes fluttered in the wind as he stood on the battle platform. Strands of undefeatable belief surged from him as he roared furiously. If you have the guts, come onto the platform and fight me at the same level. As soon as these words were spoken, the entire city of the Great Path fell silent. One could hear a pin drop. Many people were stupefied. What was going on? This madman still wanted to challenge Xiaoming, a supreme king of the younger generation. Even if they were at the same level, how could Xiaoming fear the supremes of the world? This was really the first time since Xiaoming stepped into the Divine King realm that someone had stood out to challenge him. This person had even made such a statement on the battle platform. He had even shouted it when Han Weiran was being suppressed. All eyes were on the scene. Everyone was guessing who this person was. Could he really be that madman? The Iron Blood King was secretly shocked. He had once directly admitted that he was Su Yan, a rising star from the Burial Realm race, a madman who had massacred the 3 chaotic divine mountains in the Chaos Channel. Could it really be him? Boom! Xiaoming did not say a word, but his actions represented his attitude. The vast void trembled. The Great Path seemed to be trampled under Xiaoming's feet. Heaven and earth dimmed. Everything fell into a deathly stillness. There was only one figure in the world, shining brilliantly. He was Xiaoming, step by step, walking toward the battle platform. The entire place was in an uproar. Could it be that the most terrifying battle of the same generation was about to erupt? No matter how strong Xiaoming's opponent was, once Xiaoming stepped onto the battle platform and fought with Su Yan on the same level, the world would definitely see Xiaoming's ultimate combat strength. It could also be called the ultimate combat strength of the world. Bamboo Moon's heart raced. Why did Su Yan suddenly want to fight with Xiaoming? What kind of trump card did he have that allowed him to fight with Xiaoming? Previously, when he fought with Han Weiran, all the cultivators present had witnessed it with their own eyes. Although Su Yan's combat strength was extraordinary, his cultivation level was too low. Moreover, his performance in battle could not be considered outstanding or domineering. There was still a gap between him and the top overlords of the younger generation. No matter what, was a terrifying collision going to take place on the battle platform today? Brother Xiaoming, please wait. Suddenly, an ethereal voice transmitted over. It was like a sound wave that swept over from thousands of miles away. The voice came from afar, one sound after another, continuing to be loud and shocking. In the end, the sound waves all over the sky merged into one. The skies seemed to collapse, and the world was filled with a terrifying pressure. Look, some people were shocked. They looked into the distance and saw an image. It was a faintly discernible figure that walked at the top of the sky dome, stepping on one star after another in the universe. He strolled in the universe, using the stars as nodes. Step by step, he headed towards Great Tao City. Such boldness, because this style made the cultivators admire him. Someone even directly asked, "Which clan's young man is this? He's too amazing. Ha, my clan's master is here." The group of cultivators from the Han family with ugly expressions slapped their legs and laughed loudly. They had seen the light in the midst of despair. Even the old master of the Han family was excited. He felt like the Han family's master was about to break through. His control of the Heaven chapter had reached a godly level. He would definitely be able to reach grade 7 in just 1 or 2 years. Once the Han family's master crossed this stage, he would definitely be a top king of the younger generation. He would be able to stand on the same level as Xiaoming and the others. Xiaoming also looked towards the Han family's master. He nodded slightly. This master had reached the stage where he had the mentality of a king. He was infinitely close to the divine king realm. As expected, it won't be so easy to get him. King Kampa thought to himself. The Han family definitely wouldn't give up on the Heaven chapter. Now that the Han family's master came, it was definitely for the Heaven chapter. Another legendary being has arrived. Great Tao City was in an uproar. The Han family's master looked like a god, and just one look, and one could tell that he was a dragon among men. He walked through the galaxy and crossed Great Tao City, appearing in front of everyone. The scene was really intense. Today was really exciting. This battle definitely wouldn't end so easily. Brother Xiaoming. The stars in the Han family's master's eyes dimmed as he said calmly, "This kid insulted my Han family. I want to go up and take off his head." What arrogance! Su Yin stood on the platform and said coldly, "Are you in a rush to die?" The experts from the Han family had dark expressions on their faces. The strength of the master was definitely out of everyone's expectations. They believed that the moment he went up on the platform, it would change everyone's understanding of the Han family's master. As for the Han family's master, he obviously ignored Su Yin and didn't even look at him. He directly said to Xiaoming, "Brother Xiaoming, your identity is high and you are the top king of the generation. Killing one person is just a small matter. I will teach him a lesson for you, and then take his head." Okay, Xiaoming nodded. The Han family lost so many times. If they couldn't control the situation, then they really wouldn't have any face left in the cultivation world. After getting Xiaoming's agreement, the Han family's master's eyes landed on Su Yin and he scolded, "Insulting my Han family and even targeting Brother Xiaoming. Today, I will take off your head and let you see the cruel reality." When the Han family's master was about to go up, King Kampa stood out and stopped him. He frowned. "Wait, this is against the rules." These words caused the faces of the Han family experts to sink. What did King Kampa want to do? Didn't he see the situation clearly? Why was he still protecting Su Yin? What benefits did this fellow give him? Rules. The Han family's master's eyes landed on Uncle Kong. He really wanted to say that the rules were set by the experts. These are the rules set by your Han family. Below the stage, God King Kong Bo was extremely displeased. Since he's already won and Han Weiran has been defeated, it's not up to you to decide whether to proceed with the second battle or not. You have to ask for his opinion. The Han family's master was furious. How did Su Yin have any relationship with King Kampa? The reason why King Kampa helped Su Yin was because it was against the rules. After all, Su Yin had fought a huge battle, so didn't he need a rest? Another important point was that he had a big brother. This was why if Su Yin really wanted to leave with the Heaven Strength scripture, he could just walk out of the city. Of course, if the Han family didn't know what was good for them and wanted to attack Su Yin, the outcome would be enough to make the Han family vomit blood. Their entire race would suffer heavy losses. What was the big deal if an entire race was destroyed under the rage of an expert? Although the Han family was strong, they didn't have an expert in their race. Are you afraid? The master's words were a little cold. Su Yin ignored the Han family's master and looked at King Kongpa. King Kongpa, can you give me my Heaven Strength scripture and puppet? I even bet 5,000 kilograms of chaos treasure material at the auction house. According to the odds, I should be able to get 100,000 kilograms of chaos treasure material. The moment he said this, the atmosphere became really weird. Some people were so heartbroken that they almost fainted. The Han family was really going to explode from anger because of Su Yin. They had lost 100,000 kilograms of chaos treasure material, a huge amount of wealth. Although the Han family was huge, 100,000 kilograms of chaos treasure material was equivalent to tens of thousands of years of accumulation. Along with the loss of Qiu Ming's god assimilating drum, this loss was a little terrifying. More importantly, Su Yin got the Heaven Strength scripture. Su Yin was just like a rich man, making some divine king jealous. They all looked at him with red eyes and had the urge to rob him. Unfortunately, I didn't bet more. What a huge loss, Hayes. Su Yan's face was filled with regret. If he bet more, wouldn't he have become rich? King Kongpa laughed in his heart. Luckily, Su Yan's wealth was limited. As for more people, their faces turned green. How much more did he want to win? Can't you consider our feelings for a moment? If you are afraid, then scram out of Grand Dao City. The Han family's master couldn't suppress his urge to tear Su Yin apart. He stared at him coldly and hollered, Grand Dao City doesn't raise trash. Noisy. Su Yin stared at the Han family's master and scolded. Even if you are in a rush to die, you have to see whether or not I am in the mood to kill you. Wait here. 9 Heavens God Emperor. Chapter 972. This voice rendered all the spectators speechless. No matter what, this person was a renowned genius of the primal chaos ruins. He was the strongest member of the Han clan's younger generation. He was even close to reaching the godly king realm. Such an existence was actually scolded by Su Yin. Their horizons were really broadened, and they were more and more curious about where this person came from. He wasn't afraid of anything at all. The Han family master's face was dark and sunken. A killing intent that wanted to tear Su Yin apart couldn't be suppressed. He hollered at him, Do you dare to come up and fight me? I told you to wait here. Are you deaf? Su Yan's eyes were fierce as he pointed at the Han family master and scolded, If I hear any more nonsense from you, Han Weiran's head will fall to the ground. Han Weiran was so terrified that she shivered. At this moment, she was really afraid and didn't dare to make a sound. She was really afraid that Su Yin would slice off her head. She didn't want to die. There was still a bright future waiting for her. The Han family master was furious and couldn't keep calm. Facing such a vicious person, he was so angry that his liver and stomach hurt. Calm down. The old grandmaster of the Han clan walked over and whispered to him, This person has most likely gone mad. He knows that he can't make it to the Great Path City, so he might as well let him be for now. Even if he really retreats, the Great Path City will be his grave. He won't be able to escape the clutches of the Han clan. The Han family master took in a deep breath and tried to suppress the killing intent in his heart. Such scenes also showed the prestige of Great Dao City. Who would dare to mess around here? It was said that within Great Dao City, there was always an expert in charge of it. This was a supreme pure land, a place of peace. No one could break the rules here. On the opening day of the Great Dao battle platform, Divine King Kongbo had already paid a visit to the old antiques of the Dao Hall. He had clearly informed them that there was a mighty figure by Su Yan's side who had even snatched away the 5-colored battle flag of the Sky Bamboo lineage with his bare hands. If the Han family or Qiu Ming dared to make any moves, the old antiques in the city of the Great Dao would definitely take action. Almighties had already transcended the world. No matter how strong a talent was or how terrifying his potential was, as long as he wasn't an almighty or on the same level as them, almighties would only care about almighties. Even a half-step almighty was just a floating cloud in their eyes, not worth mentioning. The scene was quiet, and no one dared to breathe loudly. However, more and more cultivators from all walks of life had rushed to the Great Path City to watch the battle. The crowd that had gathered at the Great Path battle platform was almost overcrowded. As the news spread, more and more cultivators would definitely rush here to watch. Haha, I've kept everyone waiting. At this moment, Divine King Kongbo arrived with a large bee skin pouch. This bag caused many people's eyes to turn purple with envy. There were 50,000 kilograms of primal chaos treasure materials in it. In the previous shocking gamble, Su Yin and the others had won a bet with 10 times the odds. 50,000 kilograms of primal chaos treasure materials. Even some half-step almighties had never seen such a huge fortune in their lives. The cultivators present breathed heavily. Many people were asking their friends around them who had bet on the mysterious man's victory. However, after asking for a long time, no one had said anything. This made the cultivators gasp. Damn it, very few people had won the entire bet. This was a shocking amount of wealth. It was said that the amount had exceeded 500,000 kilograms of primal chaos treasure materials. Even the overlords of the sky bamboo lineage would find it difficult to take out 500,000 kilograms of primal chaos treasure materials. They would probably need the approval of all the old antiques in the clan. The top clans would at most empty their wealth with a few 100,000 kilograms of primal chaos treasure materials. Moreover, for the Divine Firmament sect and the other clans in the outside world, taking out 500,000 kilograms of primal chaos treasure materials was like a fool's dream. Their foundation could not be compared to the ancestral hall. Ha ha, we're rich. Meanwhile, in the Great Path auction house, the little blood lion and the others were extremely excited. They all bared their teeth, causing the group of appraisers in the Great Path auction house to almost cry. Why didn't they bet more? Although they had won a lot, compared to these little brats, it was not enough at all. The little blood lion and the others had bet 7,000 kilograms of primal chaos treasure materials, which meant that they had won a total of 70,000 kilograms of primal chaos treasure materials. Their wealth could be compared to the peak stage Divine Kings. How could they be more excited and overjoyed? In fact, Bamboo Moon had also come early to line up and received her 50,000 kilograms of primal chaos treasure materials. Bamboo Moon was so excited that her eyes shone brightly. She had received 95,000 kilograms of primal chaos treasure materials, which was enough for her to buy a large amount of resources and break through the Divine King's domain. Once she broke through, Bamboo Moon's words would have more weight in the Sky Bamboo lineage. The resources in her hands would also be more abundant. This is 95,000 kilograms of primal chaos treasure materials. This is a human-shaped puppet. This is the heavenly scripture. King Kampa's expression was solemn, but he was actually laughing in his heart. The biggest winner was King Kampa. He had bet a total of 15,000 kilograms of primal chaos treasure materials and won 150,000 kilograms. King Kampa was so excited that his hands were shaking. This amount of wealth was terrifying. However, all of this was because of Su Yin. This made King Kampa want to become sworn brothers with Su Yin and call him brother. Why is there less than 2,500 kilograms? Su Yin frowned. Take a cut. King Kampa's old face was like a blooming chrysanthemum. This sentence made Su Yin curse in his heart. How evil! Directly taking 2,500 kilograms of primal chaos treasured materials. However, this kind of gambling was too rare. It was hard to come by in 1,000 years. Of course, there had been especially crazy gambling in the past. Just the wealth alone had soared to a terrifying amount of millions of kilograms. This was a huge amount of wealth that could cause peak clans to fight with each other. Can we start? The Han family master held in for a long time and finally spoke. Su Yin glanced at the Han family master and said to King Kampa, "Take the heavenly influence chapter." Huh? King Kampa was shocked. Throw it into the auction and bid for me. Before Su Yin could finish, the Han family exploded. The Han family master roared, "Don't go overboard! Don't go overboard!" Divine King Kong Bo was stunned. He was dumbfounded. Sell? If the Heavenly Influence chapter was really thrown into the auction, this would be a sky-high price. It would easily cost a few 100,000 kilograms of primal chaos treasure materials. It might even be sold for an unimaginable amount. If it was really auctioned, all the peak clans in the universe would bid for it. However, who would dare to bid? Even the Dao Hall would have to consider the consequences. Once they bid, it would be like driving the entire Han family crazy. They might even do something crazy. Isn't it a little too long to prepare for the auction? Su Yin suddenly hesitated. His every move affected the hearts of the Han family experts. His next sentence made them want to vomit blood. Heroes, whoever can take out 250,000 kilograms of primal chaos treasure materials will get the Heavenly Influence chapter. This sentence was like a thunderclap, causing a huge commotion. Actually, Su Yin was just casually saying it. However, he really didn't expect that someone would directly transmit a message to him, saying that they would consider it. However, Su Yan's price was a little too high. However, 200,000 kilograms of primal chaos treasure materials was safe. There were also old antiques who were willing to take a complete divine herb for the trade. In short, more than a dozen hidden people transmitted their messages, making Su Yin slap his thigh. Great bastard, who is bidding in secret. The Han family master was furious. Once it was sold, no one would be able to find the source. Do you dare to bet with me? Let's bet on my family's Heavenly Influence chapter. The Han family master hollered in rage. He couldn't control himself. Su Yin was selling half of their Han family. How could the Han family sit still? What are you betting with me? Su Yin asked curiously. My life. The Han family master's tone was cold, like he was making a huge decision. Su Yin burst out laughing. How much is your life worth? It's better if you bet Xiao Ming's life with a Heavenly Influence chapter. Your life isn't enough. Xiao Ming's face was dark and sunken, scaring the people around him. Can you not provoke Xiao Ming? What if this fellow suddenly goes crazy and kills us? Xiao Ming's face was cold as he said word by word to Su Yin, I will bet 100 drops of Universe Mother liquid. Everyone present exclaimed in disbelief. Was another earth-shattering gamble about to start? The older generation experts muttered in their hearts. How much Universe Mother liquid did this damn Xiao Ming have? Didn't he know that even powerful beings cared about the Universe Mother liquid? How much of this rare resource did he have? Thank you, Dao brother Xiao Ming. I won't let you down. Killing intent surged in the Han family master's heart. He swore that he would use his strong estate to crush Su Yin and wipe away his humiliation. Bullshit. Su Yin scoffed coldly. Xiao Ming, you are too stingy. Only 100 drops? Seeing Xiao Ming's change in expression, Su Yin said coldly, I am not interested in the Universe Mother liquid. Let's change to something else. What do you want to bet? Xiao Ming became calmer and calmer. Those who were familiar with him knew that Xiao Ming was furious to the extreme. I want to bet on your domain-shaking painting scroll. Su Yin opened his mouth like a lion, scaring all the cultivators present. The Divine King felt cold all over. Did this fellow really go crazy? He was still provoking Xiao Ming. Wasn't he afraid that Xiao Ming would go crazy and do something scary? Su Yin even dared to touch the domain-shaking painting scroll. Didn't he know that Xiao Ming had a forbidden area on his back? How dare you? How could Xiao Ming be calm? He really couldn't control himself and was about to explode and kill. Is it not enough? Su Yin smiled and said, Then I will add a little more. I will bet on the humanoid puppet. Or rather, Su Yin pointed at Han Weiran, who was knocked to death, and said coldly, I will bet on my spoils of war. These should be enough, right? I will bet 3 things on your domain-shaking painting scroll. Is it not enough? These words made Han Weiran almost get up and see the dawn of hope. Some old monster's expressions changed. Su Yin was really black-hearted. Wishful thinking. Xiao Ming stood up suddenly, shaking the sky. He pointed at Su Yin and growled, I will add 30 drops of Universe Mother liquid. The scene suddenly became chaotic. Some people in the Han family were suddenly disappointed. On the Great Tao battle platform, Han Weiran also suffered a shocking blow and was in a daze. This kind of atmosphere spread, and soon Xiaoming's face turned ugly. He had been tricked. Su Yin said that on purpose. However, Xiaoming didn't care. He didn't care so much about Han Weiran in the first place. Xiaoming. Su Yin clenched his fists and said, "What great courage. In that case, I will bet 130 drops of Universe Mother liquid for the Heavenly Momentum chapter. There are more tonight. Brothers, I beg for some monthly votes." Chapter 973. Crackle. The Han family master clenched his fists. He couldn't wait anymore. The battle blood in his body was boiling. His cold eyes seemed to be able to see Su Yan's bloody head being ripped off by him. All the humiliation will be in this battle. The Han family master's expression was cold. Killing intent spread out from his body and sliced through the air. "What are you still standing there for? Get on the stage." Su Yan waved at the Han family master. At the same time, he said to King Kampa, 130 drops of Universe Mother liquid. According to the rules, the experts of the Tao Hall should help manage it, right? Don't let someone go back on his words. I only have 50 drops, Xiaoming said coldly. If the Han family master loses, the other 80 drops will be returned. Okay, I believe in your reputation, Xiaoming. Su Yin wasn't afraid that Xiaoming would go back on his words. If Xiaoming really didn't give it back, that would be his moral problem. Moreover, with the experts of the Tao Hall supervising, Su Yin wasn't afraid that Xiaoming wouldn't give back. Brother Xiaoming, this battle is over. There's no need for you to make a trip back to the family. The Han family master walked up step by step. He looked like victory was in his hands. Moreover, he looked down on Su Yin from high above. The powerful energy rippling in his body made the Han family master very confident. The spectators all opened their eyes wide. After such a long commotion, the battle was finally about to begin. The Han family master had already stepped onto the Tao battle platform. His body was a little blurry, appearing and disappearing in the void. Vaguely, the body of the Han family master was like a vast universe blooming. An extremely heavy aura leaked out and covered the entire Tao battle platform. Make your move. Su Yin didn't dare to be careless. The top of the younger generation of the Han family definitely had some skill. He wouldn't let his guard down. In this battle, he was prepared to use his hidden physical strength to face the Han family master in his strongest state. Hee, if you want me to make a move, I'm afraid you won't even have the chance to make a move. The Han family master said in disdain, "Apart from your sharp tongue, you are just a piece of trash in my eyes. I don't care who you are. Today, the Tao battle platform will be your grave." "Kid, don't be so cocky," Su Yin shook his head and sneered. "Those who don't know would really think that an almighty has come. Almighty, to me, isn't too far away." The Han family master stood with his arms behind his back. He really had the aura of a top expert and had developed an invincible aura. He was really firm about his path to becoming an expert. In the future, he would definitely be able to stand at the top and look down on all the experts in the world. "You are bragging a little too much," Su Yin laughed. "However, your Han family experts are all so arrogant. Otherwise, you wouldn't have lost so badly. Do you really think that the Chaos Ruins are your Han family's territory? This isn't arrogance, but confidence. My family was once glorious." The Han family master was really calm and said coldly, "As for my confidence in suppressing you and taking your head, do you think there is a problem? If you don't make a move, I am afraid that you won't even have a chance to show off your skills. When you make a move, let me see how strong my heaven strength scripture is." Su Yin laughed coldly. "You asked for it." The Han family master suddenly laughed. "I told you to attack, but you didn't. Since it is my turn to attack, I can guarantee that you won't have a chance to attack anymore. This mysterious person is going to be unlucky, little Grandmaster. I am indeed capable. No wonder the Han family is so confident in letting the master go up." An old antique said. Many people were stunned. They hadn't even started, so how could they be so sure that Su Yin would lose? In their understanding, the mysterious person wasn't weak. You should be able to fight for at least a few hundred rounds, right? Boom! The sound of thunder exploded. A very sudden scene appeared on the Dao battle platform. The entire vast space of the Dao battle platform suddenly surged with a terrifying fluctuation that seemed like the sky was going to collapse. The Dao battle platform changed as if it had disappeared from the eyes of the people. When it appeared once more, it was like a place of purgatory. The fluctuations that spread out made all the cultivators suffocate. It was extremely unbearable. What is that? Many people felt a headache coming on because they saw that in the vast void, there were densely packed traces that interweaved together one after another. There were simply too many to count. Countless marks of the great path crisscrossed, forming a purgatory of gods and demons, suppressing the great path battle platform. Void formation patterns. A formation grandmaster exclaimed, "What a master! He is so young and actually cultivated the formation Dao to such a high level." I didn't see clearly when he was setting up the formation, but to be able to set up void formation patterns in the entire Dao battle platform in such a short time. The Han family's master is undoubtedly the #1 person in the Han family. Endless array marks were constructed, densely intertwining together to form a world annihilation catalog. This method was really amazing. When the Han family's master was setting up the formation, only some old antiques saw some blurry scenes. However, Suyin didn't notice at all. This meant that he was really going to be unlucky. Bamboo Moon wasn't worried. No matter how good his master's method was, how good could it be? From the start, everything appeared perfectly in Su Yan's eyes. How is it? The Han family's master had his hands behind his back and asked Su Yan confidently. One could even see the shock on his face. "SOSO," Su Yan replied calmly. "You stubborn thing, you are still lying through your teeth." The Han family's master's eyes turned cold, and he hollered in rage, "Kill! Today, I don't even need to use one hand. I can use the heaven strength scripture to suppress you in hell." Wong. The moment the Han family's master's voice exploded, thousands of layers of black light surged out from the Dao battle platform. The boundless formation marks seemed to have transformed into a vast river of stars. They crisscrossed and intertwined, forming the Armageddon catalog that was much more powerful. The world turned dark. The Dao battle platform turned into a killing ground. The bright light that spread out made the world burn to the extreme. This is the activation of the top formation. Many people exclaimed. The killing intent that surged out from the Dao battle platform pierced through the clouds and gathered into an unparalleled force. It contained shocking ripples that could suppress enemies of the same generation. Kacha! The sky collapsed. That was a vast light that charged into the 9 heavens. It shook the sun, moon, and stars in the sky. The light was limitless. At this moment, the Han family's master seemed really domineering. He was like an emperor that controlled the world. His words were law. The mystical sect cultivators are actually so strong. Some young people were shocked. This was the first time they saw the top of the mystical sect cultivators show off their skills. The battle had just started. The Han family's master directly controlled the entire Dao battle platform. In the limitless light that pierced through the heavens, the Han family's master seemed really charming. Suppress. He stood at the peak of the layout and looked down on all enemies in the world. He formed a seal with his palm. The heaven-raising hand was only strong in the hands of the Han family's master. One hand covered down. It was like the hand of the heavens that covered the entire Dao battle platform. The limitless layout turned into a giant hand that pressed down on the Dao battle platform. It flowed with a terrifying light. Many people found it hard to breathe. This palm was too terrifying. It was like the giant palm of a god that slammed down from the outer region. It covered a corner of the universe and was filled with the power to suppress all gods and demons. The Han family's master seemed to have controlled the heavens and turned into an eternal ruler. When the palm was infinitely close to Su Yin, he said with a cruel and cold smile, "Why aren't you submitting to the law? It's not too late to admit defeat now. Kneel down and kowtow to me to admit your mistakes, and I can spare your life." These words made Su Yin furious. "You brat, if I don't kill you, you really won't know what I am." Su Yin jumped up from the ground. His sealed flesh shell started to shake. It was like a ripple from an ancient era was crossing history and the chaos to arrive. "You want to run? You won't be able to escape from my five-finger mountain. Today, on the Dao battle platform, I will make you pay the price in blood." The Han family's master laughed coldly. He pressed down with his hand, and a heavy aura descended. The master's 5 fingers were like a mountain and gave off a majestic aura. His 5 fingers expanded like 5 pillars that supported the heavens and opened up space. His palm was like a starry ocean world that contained many stars in the universe. It gave off the aura of the heavens and wanted to cover the entire world. This palm could be said to be at the peak. It wanted to bury Su Yan's body within. He didn't even have a chance to shine. This was his confidence as a master. He wanted to suppress Su Yan with one palm and write his own legend. However, the moment Su Yan's physical body returned from its slumber, tens of thousands of layers of blood essence light rushed out of his pores. This was definitely a vast and flourishing divine power storm. The moment it danced, the blood essence instantly pierced through the heavens. Calm! Su Yan couldn't help but roar. His essence blood surged like an abyss and surged out, piercing through the clouds. Even the aura of his body that returned from the body-nurturing technique increased greatly. The unlimited essence blood evaporated and turned into an ancient dragon that laid on Su Yan's head and looked down on the 9 heavens and 10 earths. For the God-Spirit domain to accumulate to such an extent, it was really heaven-defying. What is that? Some of the spectators were terrified because they seemed to see the vast essence blood drown the entire Dao battle platform and cover the sky. When the unlimited essence blood returned to Su Yan's body, he was like a demon that was born from chaos. Su Yan's aura was completely different. A terrifying aura spread out, causing the sky to darken. Many experts near the Dao battle platform fell to the ground and trembled. Su Yan roared in rage. He was like a comet that shot out. Light filled the sky and tore open the sky. Once the Big Dipper fist exploded, the sky collapsed. "Come and accept your death." How valiant was Su Yan! With one fist, the entire Dao battle platform's void runes twisted and instantly collapsed. A huge explosion occurred in the void. This was a human-shaped dragon that came out of its cage. It was too overbearing and overpowered, instantly reaching the end of the platform. 9 Heavens God Emperor. Chapter 974. On the great Dao battle platform, the wind and clouds dispersed, and ghosts cried and gods howled. The energy fluctuations were intense, and a figure awakened at lightning speed. The surging energy was violent to the extreme, dominating the entire great Dao battle platform. The sky was torn apart. This was completely the movement of gods and demons, causing the sky to collapse and the earth to rend. Su Yan rose from the ground as terrifying energy overflowed in all directions. His unparalleled fighting strength filled the entire arena. The energy source that leaked out caused the heroes around the battle stage to directly fall to the ground. It was difficult for them to withstand this kind of violent energy. "Oh my God!" Everyone present cried out in surprise. This was a scene that shook the soul. A person rose up from the ground, and during the process of awakening, divine light overflowed into the sky. His blood essence was like a wild dragon roaring in high spirits, and an endless storm of divine energy burst forth. Boom! A great collapse occurred on the great Dao battle platform. Countless void runes were riddled with holes as the light of energy spewed out from Su Yan's pores. He was too terrifying and domineering. His entire body surged with a domineering aura that pushed away all enemies in the world. The moment his figure soared into the sky, the Armageddon catalog that filled the sky began to shatter piece by piece like picture scrolls. Everything was overturned forcefully. An intimidating figure, even more intimidating than gods and demons, with a head of long black hair, dancing wildly. illuminating the boundless earth. He was peerlessly domineering, stepping on the sun, moon, rivers, and mountains. The magnificent Great Tao battle platform seemed to submit to his feet. The fist he swung out was like a comet bombarding the end of the battle platform, causing heaven and earth to shake. Unbelievable! A divine king exclaimed. What kind of king was this? Once he was serious, he was actually so domineering. It was completely different from the way he fought with Han Weiran previously. Every move he made revealed a boundless, domineering aura. This punch even caused the sea of stars to shine, and the boundless essence of the galaxy fell down, penetrating Su Yan's fist. The moment this punch erupted, the sea of stars floated in the battle platform. Su Yan's fist was magnificent and peerless. The sun, moon, and stars revolved around his fist. This punch could be said to have blasted out an ancient sea of stars, about to destroy the entire Great Tao battle platform. Big Dipper fist. There were also some who turned pale with fright and trembled all over. They couldn't help but exclaim, "This is Hokuto's secret technique, the Big Dipper fist." Ever since the decline of Hokuto, the Big Dipper fist had disappeared from the eyes of the world. However, in the era of Madman Su, he fought against heroes from all over the world and washed the chaotic divine mountain with blood. The Big Dipper fist's ferocity once again soared to the heavens. Now that the Big Dipper fist was used on the stage, it was enough to prove one thing. He is Su Yan, the young overlord of the Buried Region clan, Su Yan. This was a terrifying truth that many people found hard to accept. Their breathing became extremely heavy. This was a legend who was strong enough. Now that he had appeared in such a shocking manner, even the experts of the older generation felt their scalps go numb. This lunatic actually dared to swagger around in the city of the Great Tao. Didn't he know how big of a trouble he was in? The Iron Blood King was even more dumbfounded. He really was Su Yan. This result was too inconceivable. This guy even took the initiative to say that he was Su Yan. Just what was he trying to do? Didn't he know how dangerous the city of the Great Tao was? Su Yan's strength shocked the Iron Blood King. Rumors had it that Su Yan had just stepped into Heaven God realm not long ago. But looking at his awakened energy, he was extremely strong. This wasn't the strength of someone who had just stepped into Heaven God realm. Kill! The fiend gods moved, killing intent surged, annihilating the vast void. This fist was extremely strong and overbearing, about to drown the Han family's master. The Han family's master hollered in rage. "I don't care who you are. Today, you will definitely die." The Han family's master stepped forwards, step by step. With each step, his aura surged a little. In a short moment of light, the Han family's master took a total of 9 steps. At that moment, it was like the entire world was being pushed by him. Even a vast sky moved along with him. It was like the sky was really falling down and covering the land. Oh, the sky darkened. A king descended and looked down on everyone. "Okay, we must crush Su Yan and let him know how strong and prosperous our Han family is." The Han family's old master hollered in rage. This was the Han family's sect-shocking technique, the supreme legacy of their founder. When it was confirmed that this person was Su Yan, the experts of the Han family went crazy. They had to kill him. Since the master attacked, they were confident that they could kill Su Yan. A terrifying battle. On the Tao battle platform, a strong enough energy storm was brewing. One side was like the king of the universe. Blood energy surged into the clouds, and his aura was extremely domineering. As for the Han family master, he was extremely elegant. He took 9 steps and stood at his peak. Even the sky seemed to collapse. As he moved, he seemed to have turned into a king among men. He contained a huge amount of godly might that swept across the land. Sky King Seal. The older cultivators were shocked. This was the Han family's secret technique and also the Han family's supreme legacy, the Sky King Seal. This technique was passed down from the Mystic Gate. Legend had it that once one cultivated it, they could control the universe. Although the Han family's master hadn't stepped into the Master Realm, with his combat strength, he could control the power of the heavens and suppress strong enemies. That thick, boundless, peerless, and terrifying energy body was born with the Han family's master realm. What a Sky King seal! With the Han family's master realm attainments, they are undefeatable. The experts of the various races were shocked. The Han family master had really grown. Although the various races didn't know much about Madman Su, who had barged into the Chaos Ruins, but with the strength of a master, could it be that he couldn't suppress Su Yin? How is that possible? How can he be Su Yin? Shouldn't this fellow be the son of a restricted area from a restricted area? But he's actually Madman Su. Oh my God, who is that expert beside him? Where did he get such a vicious person from? Bringing a big brother into the city and showing off. What does he want? King Kampa's heart jumped, no matter how he thought about it. He wouldn't have thought that this person was Su Yin. Could it be that the supreme being beside him was the old leader of the Burial Realm clan, a supreme overlord who had once slaughtered the supreme being of the ancestral hall? Su Yin, hand over your life. Today I will kill you. The Han family's master realm awakened in the extreme realm. From this moment onwards, the world turned dark and fell into darkness. A suffocating energy source descended from the sky. This was the limit of the heavenly god realm. An invincible battle prowess that could suppress those in the same generation erupted here and clashed with Su Yan's Big Dipper fist. How long? This kind of collision seemed to be burning the world. The sea of stars and the firmament collided. The great path battle platform released dazzling brilliance. A loud noise shook the heavens, and a terrifying crack collapsed, and the crack was rapidly expanding. What a terrifying collision! The energy collision that made cultivators in the same generation tremble caused the Tao battle platform to tremble. The two boundless forces collided here. In the process of the collision, the cracks continued to expand and were about to blast a huge hole in the entire Tao battle platform. Su Yin, you can't do it. Today, I will beat you until you kneel on the Tao battle platform and repent to my family for your sins. The Han family's master realm expert shouted furiously. Every movement of his caused the sky to shake. Energy ripples that were even more turbulent than the ocean swept across. His divine might filled the entire Tao battle platform. Under the heavenly king's seal state, the Han family's master realm expert turned into a huge seal. He was powerful and pushed the vast energy source to suppress Su Yin once again. You arrogant thing. Even if you step into the Grandmaster realm, I will kill you. Two streaks of fierce light flashed in Su Yan's eyes. The heaven and earth eye bloomed. So what if it was the heavenly king's seal? Everyone admitted that this secret technique was unparalleled, but the Han family's master realm expert hadn't stepped into the Grandmaster realm yet. The heavenly king seal he created had many flaws, and they all appeared in Su Yan's eyes. However, Su Yan didn't care about using the heaven and earth eye to attack him. He had enough power to forcefully break through all of this. Under the body-nurturing technique state, Su Yan had accumulated enough potential and foundations. If he couldn't even kill a Han family's master realm expert, then he wouldn't be able to survive. At the same time, Su Yan would try his best to reduce the time. That was because the energy accumulated by the body-nurturing technique couldn't be used by Su Yan endlessly. Su Yan wasn't a heavenly god after all. There was a huge gap between them. Once he faced someone of the same generation, there would be a huge gap between them. Dong! Su Yan's killing intent swept the sky. Essence blood boiled from his treasure body, along with a blurry, chaotic energy. His aura suddenly changed. Sometimes it was like a halberd that could slice through everything. Sometimes it was like a huge cauldron that could suppress the world. Sometimes it was like a golden bell that could shake everything. The explosion of his foundations and the awakening of his potential caused Su Yan's aura to increase by a large amount. Under everyone's disbelieving eyes, Su Yan swallowed up the mountains and swung his fist once more. It was extremely heavy, causing the entire universe to rumble. However, this wasn't just one fist. He swung a total of 9 fists, going against the heavens and exploding out with his shocking foundations. Long. Those were 9 terrifying stars in the universe that pierced through the clouds and struck the heavens. A total of 9 fists were thrown out with the Big Dipper fist. Each star was wrapped in chaotic light, like they were stars born from chaos. The process destroyed the heavens and the earth. What shocked everyone was that the 9 stars merged into one. This was the Big Dipper fist of the Big Dipper fist. The entire sky was covered and darkened. Along with the vast 9 heavens' Milky Way light scattering down, the entire Tao battle platform was filled with extreme pressure. Kill! Suyin hollered. His majestic aura shocked the world. He formed a fist seal and was extremely domineering as he charged forwards. One could feel the sky crying blood. This fist blasted through the entire sky. Boundless power was released, and a huge explosion occurred in the sky. Among them, there was a body that trembled. Blood spurted out from his body, and the bones in his body cracked. He suffered a terrifying injury. The master fell down, and his body was about to fall apart. 9 Heavens God Emperor. Chapter 975. A thick blood light shot out and dyed the broken sky red. A figure that was originally filled with divine might was now covered in a sea of chi and blood that pressed down like lightning. His blood essence was so terrifying that it made people tremble. Suyin punched out, and a loud bang rang out. Blood essence that filled the sky gathered and almost boiled, causing the entire Great Tao battle platform to shake. 9 fists merged into one, roaring and tearing open the sky as it smashed towards the Han family master. This fist caused his body to bend, and blood spurted out from his pores. Along with the sounds of bones cracking, his body exploded. The sound of bones cracking contained a unique magical power, causing the spectators in the field to be dumbfounded. This scene was unbelievable. That was the Han family master, an invincible young expert. But now he faced Madman Su and was punched down from the sky. His body was heavily injured. Many people were terrified. How strong was Madman Su? The Big Dipper fist unleashed a total of 9 punches, sweeping across all enemies in the world. Towards this young overlord who had barged in from the outside world, towards this rising star of the declining clans. Many clans realized that they had a serious misconception of his combat strength. Those people who felt that the Han family master was invincible all shut their mouths. This Madman Su, who started a massacre in the Chaos Tunnel, was extremely strong. He was unbelievably strong and destroyed a Heavenly King legend with one fist. After all, the Heavenly King seal was an undefeatable supreme inherited technique. It was also a rare technique of the mystic sect. But now, no matter how strong the technique was, in front of a domineering person, there would be a day when the legend would be broken. The expressions of the Han family experts were really ugly. How did this happen? Su Yin had just stepped into Heaven God realm. So how did he have such terrifying trump cards? This was enough to show how terrifying the body nurturing technique was. It had helped Su Yin build up a monstrous foundation. The eruption of one move was peerless. Of course, even without the body nurturing technique, Su Yin could rely on the eyes of the universe to break the special layout of the Heavenly King's seal. Moreover, it was a secret technique that the prehistoric Big Brother was terrifying and had casually passed down to Su Yin. Coupled with the Heaven-Earth Stone Vial that he had picked up at the auction, Su Yin possessed 2 trump cards. Is the Han family master going to be defeated? Someone screamed because Su Yin charged over. He was still so strong and domineering, charging to the end of the Tao battle platform. His body stuck close to the ground as he charged over. Before he arrived, the extremely turbulent energy ripple had already caused the blood-stained figure that fell from the sky to tremble. It was as though he was about to be smashed into pieces by Su Yin in a single exchange. Ha, good. Little Lion King and the others were really excited. They didn't expect Su Yin to be the one on the stage. They also didn't expect that Su Yin had developed such strength. Ever since Su Yin stepped into the Chaos Ruins, the forces of the various clans had been suppressing his growth. However, under such extreme pressure, Su Yin became stronger and stronger. He had awakened in the face of adversity. Now his aura could swallow the rivers and mountains. On the Great Law battle platform, His divine power was displayed. Hong Long. Su Yan's hand slapped up and hit the body of the Han family master. Many people couldn't bear to watch this palm. Was the master going to die? He couldn't even last a few rounds and was going to be killed by Su Yan. But the outcome stunned everyone. This palm did hit the master's body. However, the Han family master's body was covered in a layer of dreamy colored battle armor. The battle armor was like a starry sky covering the master's body. Numerous suns, moons, and stars were carved on it. An extremely powerful defensive force surged forth and forcefully blocked the might of Su Yan's palm. Sun Moon Galaxy Battle Armor. Someone was speechless. This was a really rare battle armor, a rare treasure of the Han family. It was really difficult to refine, and one needed the Han family experts to gather the essence of the sun, moon, and stars. To refine this battle armor, one would need to spend a lot of time and effort. However, its defensive power was really strong, and it could even raise the strength of the Han family master. Calm. The Han family master hollered in rage. He really didn't expect that Su Yan would strike him down from the sky. His blood-dyed hair danced in the wind as he roared in rage. What are you shouting for? I will send you on your way. Su Yan's hair scattered down. His tall body was filled with a terrifying aura that suppressed those of the same generation. His moves were huge as he attacked the Han family master. The storm-like killing techniques were used by Su Yan to their fullest. Facing the all-out attacks, the Han family master fought back crazily. The Sun Moon Galaxy battle armor shone brightly and gave him shocking strength. However, no matter how fast the Han family master reacted, Su Yan's moves were huge and ferocious. Each move contained extreme strength. Hong Long. A total of 100 rounds of intense clashing were like two ancient beasts clashing together. Blood splattered in the sky. The Han family master couldn't even raise his head. He couldn't keep up with Su Yan's movements at all. The Han family master made a fatal mistake. An expert from the older generation commented, Su Yan is a ruthless person who fought his way out of a mountain of corpses and a sea of blood. You shouldn't fight him in close combat. He can't beat Madman Su. Although that is the case, Su Yan is really fast. Do you think the Han family master is faster than Su Yan? Even if he wants to break free, he won't be able to. He can only fight Su Yan head-on. Some people retorted. Although the master had the sun, moon, star, sky armor, there was still a limit to it. Su Yan's successive attacks caused the Han family master to suffer internal injuries. Although the injuries weren't serious, they weren't serious. After 100 rounds of fighting, he suffered injuries on top of injuries. Blood spurted out from his nose and mouth. His hair was disheveled, and he lost the aura of a young expert. I will kill you. The Han family master hollered in rage. His mental energy exploded. He wanted to kill his way out of this situation. On the Great Dao battle platform, blurry void formation runes appeared once more. The master of the Han family was using his extreme formation technique to suppress Su Yan with his aura. However, no matter how strong he wasn't as strong as Su Yan. Break for me. Su Yan stood on the fighting ring and let out a loud roar. Hong! He spat out a bright light. Along with the blurry chaotic light, a heavy power filled the entire area. The formation technique that just appeared was shattered by Su Yan's roar. Even in front of his roar, the Han family master felt like he was struck by lightning. His body shook, and he was lifted into the air. Su Yan's tongue was like thunder, suppressing the entire area. The entire Dao battle platform was covered in golden ripples. They combined together and turned into a giant golden mountain that pressed down. I am invincible. The Han family master was infuriated, and he spat out a mouthful of snow-white smoke. The moment he pulled it out, he slashed forward. It was like he was waving out a Milky Way. Within it, the sun, moon, and stars were birthed as it slashed towards Su Yan. I will shout that you are invincible when you go back to your hometown. Su Yan's eyes shone with an ominous glint as he decisively pulled out the sky-chopping sword. Once this sword was pulled out, the sky-chopping sword aura soared into the sky, one after another. Every sword aura gave birth to a sky-chopping aura that could penetrate the heavens and the earth. Come. The two eye-catching sword embryos clashed together. Sparks flew, and the bright sword light tore through the sky. The moment the killing swords flew through the air, the battle became even more dangerous and brutal. The two experts waved their sword embryos and started a fight. The sword light in the area was endless. Be it the heaven-slaying sword or the sun-moon-star sword, they were all rare treasures. The clashing of the killing swords was enough to tear one's eardrums. Slash! The Han family master roared and waved a killing technique. The killing sword shot out tens of thousands of feet of sword light. It was bright and dazzling, making many of the spectators panic. They all felt that this sword was going to split the sky into two. However, another sword light rose up and covered the sky. It made the people around feel like they had fallen into an ice cave. Their heads were about to roll off the ground. Oh! The two killing swords charged up to their peak and clashed together. The final outcome was terrifying. The sun-moon-star sword was directly split into two. Su Yan's heaven-slaying sword was even stronger. It looked like it was about to split the Han family master in half. There were Ancestral Hall experts here too. They were so furious that they were about to explode. The sky-severing sword was the murderous weapon of the Ancestral Hall. It was even refined from the heavenly refining furnace. This treasure was indestructible and was the rough embryo of a supreme treasure. Now that this treasure was in Su Yan's possession, it shone brilliantly. Luckily, at the crucial moment, the Han family master's sun-moon-star armor shone and blocked the heaven-slaying sword's light. Oh! At the same time, the Han family master punched and exploded with his strongest strength. He hammered Su Yan's chest. However, Su Yan was so strong. Even now, he was still fighting Su Yan with his physical body. When a fist was about to hit him, Su Yan's expression changed. Su Yan's fleshly shell had simply transformed into a magnificent star in the universe, and it was filled with a peerless aura that was heavy to the point of pressing down on all eternity as it charged forward. Ah! The Han family master screamed. His fist was directly smashed into pieces by Su Yan's fist. His entire arm exploded. Su Yan used the Sun-Moon River Mountain painting to suppress the Sun-Moon-Star armor's power. He heavily injured the Han family master. His entire broken arm was ripped off by Su Yan. What a bloody scene. Cultivators of the same generation were terrified. This was the Han family master. In just one move, his arm was ripped off by Su Yan. Damn! I don't believe that I can't suppress you. The Han family master hollered in rage. His entire body spat out boundless ripples that rippled on the Dao battle platform. He wanted to use his aura to gather the void runes to suppress Su Yan. You're still laying out the formation. Don't take out these damn runes to embarrass yourself. Su Yan slapped forwards and crushed the sky full of runes. The Han family master was hit so hard that blood spurted out from his nose and mouth. Half of his face caved in and he spat out all his teeth. He was in a really pitiful state. However, Su Yan's words made the Han family master feel even more despair. It totally crushed his confidence and dignity. Chapter 976. Su Yan's bravery shocked the world. On the Dao battle platform, his ferocious aura filled the sky. He was like a demon standing on top of a mountain of corpses and a sea of blood. His aura shocked the world. His blood chi surged, spreading terrifying ripples that shocked all the experts of the same generation. Even the Divine King was shocked. From the start of the battle until now, Su Yan had used strength to break the Han family master's proudest move. They had all witnessed this battle with their own eyes. They had heard all sorts of legends about Su Yan before. Anyway, since they hadn't seen it with their own eyes, it was hard for them to acknowledge Su Yan's strength. But now, on the Great Path battle platform, Su Yan's domineering attack had caused the master of the Han family to feel despair. Such a valiant attitude had immediately gained the recognition of all the powerful cultivators in the Great Path City. After all, Su Yan was facing the top of the younger generation of the Han family, the Han family master who was about to step into the Master Realm. He had forcefully defeated a top overlord who lived in legends. Such glory caused some girls to scream. What a crazy Sue! To many young geniuses, these 3 words were a bit heavy and cruel. In the legends, Su Yin was even stronger than the legends. He was able to suppress a top overlord just like that. If this wasn't invincible strength, then what was it? This was definitely a supreme being. With a stomp of his feet, people of the same generation would tremble in fear. What a strong talent. King Compass sucked in a cold breath and said, "A top overlord. That is the Han family's master." He actually ended up in such a pitiful state. Su Yan's name was not very famous in the Chaos Ruins. But after this battle, he gathered a lot of strength. How many people of the same generation can compete with him? The Dao City was in an uproar. They had witnessed this battle with their own eyes. There was no cheating at all. Su Yin used strength to break through and gained the recognition of many experts. Ha ha! Brother Su Yin is even stronger than before, huh? Little Lion King and the others were laughing maniacally in their hearts. Everyone says that our Burial Realm clans are a declining group of clans, a waste clan. But who is the real waste clan? The Han family has repeatedly oppressed Su Yin and Brother Su Yin, and now they've finally tasted the bitter fruit. It didn't matter if it was the sun, moon, rivers, and mountains painting or the great Tao painting left behind by an 8th grade great-grandmaster. However, none of this could be compared to the crushing defeat of the #1 member of the Han family. Once the Han family master lost, they were destined to have no successors. In the future, they wouldn't have any experts to fight for the world. For example, the Kuan family had kept a low profile for the past few years. King Kuan had been killed by Su Yin, and there was a gap in the younger generation of the Kuan family. If they didn't behave themselves, there was no guarantee that a strong enemy would come knocking on their door thousands of years later. Although the Han family's foundation was extraordinary, in this era, if there was no successor for the younger generation, it would be an extremely awkward situation. How could he lose? Han Kong lost control and roared. He couldn't accept the scene in front of him. How could the Han family master lose? Even if he really lost, he definitely wouldn't lose to Su Yin. The old master of the Han family slapped Han Kang's face, causing him to spin 3 times on the spot. The old master of the Han family said fiercely, "When did he lose? The master hasn't lost completely. He can still fight. If you keep shouting, do you believe that I won't kill you?" Han Kong trembled in fear and didn't dare to talk nonsense anymore. Xiaoming's face was also gloomy. If he lost again, he would lose 130 drops of Universe Mother Liquid. This was a huge amount of wealth, enough to make even the eyes of powerful beings red with envy. If Su Yin really won 130 drops of Universe Mother Liquid, then this would be extremely important to his current cultivation. It would be extremely important. The scarcity of such an extraordinary item was self-evident. If Su Yin really got it, the consequences would be the most severe. Xiaoming really felt aggrieved and furious. He was a top king of the same generation. If it wasn't for the rules of the Great Dao City, he would have attacked and killed Su Yin. But now he could only stare. If he lost, he would definitely have to give the universe Mother Liquid to Su Yin. Someone said that you can still fight? Su Yin stood between heaven and earth and looked down at the Han family master. He said coldly, "Do you admit defeat?" Hearing this, the Han family master came back to his senses. His dim eyes shone and he roared, "I will use everything I have to kill you. How long?" In that instant, the Han family master's blood-stained battle body shone. There was a huge fluctuation, like a blood ocean was blooming. The sky changed color. It was a patch of red. Bloodlight rumbled and caused the sky to rumble. Vaguely, a colossal blood-red figure appeared on the Great Dao battle platform. It flickered in and out of existence, giving off ripples that could dominate the souls of all. It made all the spectators tremble. Even the souls of some god kings trembled. Blood soul technique. Someone was shocked. He pointed at the giant and blurry outline on the platform and said with a trembling voice, "The forbidden technique that was lost in history, blood soul technique." The entire place was in an uproar. King Kampa's expression changed, and he hollered, "Not good. The Han family master is crazy. He wants to trade his life with Su Yin. How can the Han family just watch him cultivate it? Doesn't he know the consequences of using it? What is blood soul technique?" Some people were suspicious. But then a large group of spectators felt their scalps go numb. In their eyes, they saw the Han family master's blood-stained body weakening. It even dried up and decayed. His life seemed to have reached its end. "Ah, master." The Han family experts hollered in rage. Their eyes turned red like they were about to kill someone. The Han family old master's face was so vicious that it nearly twisted. Once the blood soul technique was used, it would directly refine one's bloodline essence and gather it in the soul. Only then would one be able to release the extremely overbearing blood soul technique. Many people were terrified. What technique was this? In the end, an expert from the older generation stood out and explained, the blood soul technique is a secret technique that has been lost in history. Once this secret technique is used, it will gather the essence of one's bloodline and penetrate into one's soul. Once the blood soul technique is used, it will easily consume 1,000 years of lifespan. It can even cause one to age and the soul to fall into a period of weakness. Although the Han family master's foundations were strong, he definitely couldn't handle the loss of the blood soul technique. Of course, there was a chance of survival, which was that he needed medicine to prolong his life. "Crazy, he is really crazy," many people exclaimed. The Han family master wanted to kill Su Yin to wash away his humiliation. He was really crazy. Of course, the Han family master might not die. After all, the Han family's foundations were really strong, and it wasn't hard for them to take out medicine. However, even if he was saved, his lifespan would be reduced by thousands of years. He might even lose more lifespan. The damage to the soul was too severe. The experts were all stunned. This Han family master was really amazing. He was willing to pay any price to kill Su Yin. "Su Yin, now that I paid the price, it is time for you to give up your life." The Han family master's dry hair danced in the wind as he roared in rage. Even the giant purgatory bloodlight that floated above the platform released a terrifying soul fluctuation. It was as if a divine king realm soul was born. The power that surged out caused the entire platform to shake and rumble. Wong! His enormous figure swiftly transformed into a blood-colored torrent that dyed the sky scarlet red, and a horrifying aura spread out. This strike was accurate and vicious. Along with a special demonic power, it locked down Su Yan's body. Kacha! Su Yan's brow cracked open and blood splattered down. Even his sea of consciousness was twisting under the pressure of the blood soul technique. It was about to be destroyed. Not good. Little Lion King and the others were shocked. How could there be such an evil secret technique? It had damaged Su Yan's sea of consciousness as soon as it was unleashed. If this continued, even if Su Yan didn't die, his sea of consciousness would be severely damaged, and there would be a huge problem. "Kill him," the Han family people hollered. They had already paid such a huge price. As long as they could kill Su Yan, the Han family master would be the hero of the entire Han family. It was just a stock of god medicine. With the master's merits, the old ancestor would definitely agree to take it out to extend his life. This battle would even show the strength of the Han family, causing the reputation of the Han family to soar. / The Han family master shouted in a maniacal manner. The image of an endless blood ocean surged out. Waves smacked the shore. Sound waves rumbled. Blood light filled the sky. Layers of blood light covered the sky and stacked on top of one another. Some of the blood ocean energy squeezed into Su Yan's sea of consciousness and was about to take it over. The thick blood light swallowed one's soul. Everyone could see that the blood ocean covered Su Yan's entire sea of consciousness and was about to swallow his entire mind. Many people panicked. Once the blood ocean drowned Su Yan's sea of consciousness, Su Yan would definitely die. Was the battle going to turn around? Wong! All of a sudden, a golden god was born in the blood ocean purgatory. He bathed in Buddhist light and chanted supreme scriptures. This was a boundless, grand, and magnificent divine sound, instantly exploding outwards. Everyone was shocked. What was going on? A thread of endless Buddhist energy was born in Su Yan's sea of consciousness. It contained a terrifying Buddhist nature and pierced through the entire blood ocean world. This voice seemed to have spread out from the future, and one couldn't see the true self. Oh my God! All the cultivators felt their hair stand on end. They saw the bright Buddhist light in the blood ocean, suppressing the corpses and blood ocean. The light that exploded out caused the giant bodies on the platform to tremble like they were being purified. This is a Buddhist sect supreme technique. Even divine King Kong Bo was stuttering. How could Su Yin have grasped the Buddhist great divine power? Even how strong his primordial spirit was. The blood soul technique was really useful. It faced the Buddhist sect supreme scripture, the Sutra of the Future. The sky full of blood light exploded. Only one person remained, invincible and domineering. Kong! Su Yin let out a loud roar, shattering the sky full of blood light. On the Tao battle platform, an invincible heavenly might exploded. Pooh! The Han family master cried out in pain. His blood-stained body shook and was about to fall apart. He was already old, and now Su Yan's roar made him bleed. His dried-up body was torn into pieces. If you're not happy, I will send you on your way. Su Yan's black hair danced in the wind. His eyes were like lightning, and his clothes were torn apart, revealing his strong muscles. He looked extremely majestic. He punched forward and smashed the Han family master into pieces. His bones scattered all over the ground. Chapter 977. The bloody scene petrified many cultivators. The scene on the Tao battle platform was like a bolt of lightning to some people. Their bodies were shaking. What did they see? The Han family master's body exploded from Su Yan's punch. This was a sign that his soul was being destroyed, especially the master who lost under the blood soul technique. This punch was enough to kill him directly. Moreover, even if Su Yin didn't attack, the Han family's master wouldn't be able to live for long even if he didn't have divine medicine to prolong his life. The entire place was in an uproar. No one expected that from the start of the battle until now, an invincible young overlord would die on the platform. His body would explode, causing the entire place to be in an uproar. Unbelievable! The older generation experts gasped. They couldn't believe what they were seeing. It was like a dream. The young overlord of a generation died on the platform, just like that. He was even beaten up by his opponent. An angry roar erupted, shaking the world and shaking the heavens. This was a mournful voice that surged with murderous light. The Han family's master roared like a madman. The energy source that surged out of his body caused a huge explosion in the sky. The Han family's master's eyes were blood red. He clenched his fists, and an uncontrollable killing intent surged in his body. He was about to lose control and charge onto the Tao battle platform to kill Su Yin. This scene made the Han family experts go crazy. The master they were so proud of, the Han family's future hope, someone who was about to enter the master realm, was dying on the platform. How could the scene not make them go crazy? Cold, murderous intent had already filled the entire eastern street and rippled out, making the vast city of the Great Path feel bone-piercing cold. All the cultivators from the Han clan wanted to go crazy and wash the Great Path battle platform with blood. Stop! The scene was chaotic. The experts from the Tao Temple couldn't hold it anymore. The Han family experts had really gone crazy. They wanted to start a massacre in the Tao city and attack the Tao battle platform. Humph! A cold voice exploded between the heavens and earth all of a sudden. The divine voice was extremely loud and majestic, causing all of the crazy Han clan cultivators to feel fear. They felt like their bodies were about to explode. Even the god kings from the Han clan felt their hair stand on end. It was as if they could see the peak of the 9 heavens, a supreme existence staring at them. This was like a bucket of cold water being poured over them. The Han family experts trembled and were about to crawl on the ground. Without a doubt, This was because the protector of Great Path City was displeased and had nearly unleashed his killing intent. This had caused the entire Great Path City to tremble. Even this #1 city in the universe could not withstand the wrath of an almighty. The entire Tao Temple from the Tao Temple, of course, of the Tao Temple, of... No, someone roared. They noticed that the pieces of flesh and bones scattered all over the Tao Temple were glowing at the same time. It was as if they had come back to life from the dead. They were giving off a bright, celestial light. All the cultivators were shocked. What was going on? The Han family master had exploded, but now his flesh and blood were glowing. It seemed like he was going to reconstruct his body and revive. This made everyone stutter. They didn't know what to say. Was there such a heaven-defying technique in the world that could reconstruct a body and revive someone? Oh, even the old antiques from the Taoist temple who had been revived in the city of the Great Path opened their eyes that were filled with chaotic light. They were filled with astonishment as they exclaimed, "The Han family actually has such a substance. What great fortune!" If Hong Kong and the others heard this, they would definitely be shocked. One must know that the person in charge of Tao City was an ancient, powerful being from the Tao Temple, something that could shock and move the mighty figures, and even be called a great creation, was definitely a heaven-defying substance. Wong, on the Tao battle platform, celestial light shone. The flesh and blood all over the sky glowed and heated up. Under Su Yan's shocked gaze, the flesh and bones seemed to have intelligence. They gathered together on their own and were going to form a new person. How is that possible? Everyone was in an uproar. How could such a ridiculous scene appear? Could the Han family master come back to life? The prehistoric big brother walked in the crowd. His hair was messy and his tall body was as stable as an abyss. His eyes shone with a strange light. Immortal Tao substance. The prehistoric big brother spoke, but his voice was transmitted directly into Su Yan's ears, causing Su Yan to clench his fists tightly. Since the prehistoric big brother had transmitted his voice to him, did that mean that this thing would be of help to him? Although he didn't know what the immortal Tao substance was, some old monsters saw through it. Even Xiao Ming's face darkened. He laughed coldly in his heart. The Han family has such a substance, and I didn't know about it all. Xiao Ming's voice was filled with dissatisfaction. This substance was too precious. It was a rare treasure even for powerful beings. He guessed that the ancestors of the Han family got it by accident. They probably found it in some life, forbidden zone, or maybe it came from the immortal graveyard. Kaboom! Under everyone's gazes, the broken bones and flesh merged into one, forming a blood-stained figure. It gave off an unusually grand ripple. The Han family master came back to life. He was actually coming back to life. Who wouldn't be shocked? This was too ridiculous. Even the body of the Han family master shone with a holy light. He was born with a terrifying substance. This substance finally started to glow and heat up. It spewed out celestial light and illuminated the universe. What is that? King Kampa's expression changed. Many people saw the energy light rain from the Han family's master reassembling his flesh shell. It gathered in the sky, and vaguely, a huge and blurry silhouette was born. It was as if an ancient creature that had been sleeping for a long time was about to wake up. This huge and blurry outline even gave off a terrifying pressure that made the spectators tremble. They felt like they were about to kneel on the ground and submit. Even the Divine King was shocked. What kind of heaven-defying substance was this to revive the Han family master? It extended the life that was lost. The old antique in Great Tao City had the urge to snatch it, but he was afraid of the prehistoric big brother. He reached out many times and finally stopped. The battle on the Great Tao battle platform hadn't ended. If he really tried to snatch the heaven-defying substance, it would make the prehistoric big brother unhappy. Once the powerful beings fought, Great Tao City would be wiped out. He had to bear the consequences. Ha ha ha, I'm alive again. The voice of the Han family master sounded out just like that. There was shock and joy in his voice. His reconstructed body shone. It was really holy, especially with the celestial path substance. he looked like a celestial. Even the divine king had to kneel down and kowtow. Su Yan. In the next moment, the Han family master stared at Su Yan with a sharp gaze and said viciously, "You forced me to use my family's ultimate substance. You deserve to die. So you don't know what this substance is." Su Yan sneered. "You don't even know that you can really be resurrected. This creation is really terrifying. Kiki, as long as I can kill you, it is enough." The Han family master was really emotional. He could sense how strong and overpowered the celestial path substance was. He felt like he controlled the universe and looked down on all the races in the world. This feeling, this aura, made the Han family master laugh out loud, as expected from what the ancestors said. "Ha ha ha, Su Yan, this is your fate. So what if you are strong? You are just helping me." Han Long. The entire Great Tao battle platform shook. The aura of the Han family master was really majestic. The moment the mysterious substance that he had been burning woke up, that terrifying suppression filled the entire place. Su Yan's body was locked down and was even about to explode from the suppression. He was shocked. What a celestial path substance. It was really terrifying and overpowered. If the master grasped it, how strong would he be? That was because in front of the suppression of this substance, Su Yan actually couldn't fight back at all. Is the situation going to change? The crowd exclaimed, and their voices stuttered. It was obvious that they still hadn't recovered from the shock of the revival of the master. This celestial path substance that could crush all living beings in the universe caused the space around to shatter. Cracks appeared in the Tao and spread towards Su Yan. Su Yan's body shook, and he struggled crazily. He wanted to use all his skills to go up against the suppression of the celestial path substance. However, what happened next stunned him. The Han family master coughed out blood, and his reformed body started to crack. What was going on? The old man wasn't surprised. This substance was too strong and overbearing. It was unimaginably noble. Although it could help revive the Han family master, did he want to control it? It had to be said that it was too anxious. It was too anxious to kill Su Yan. Even a divine king might not be able to control such a substance. How is that possible? This belongs to me. The Han family master's eyes were bloodshot, and he hollered. He wanted to reform the scattered substance, but the more he tried to suppress it, the stronger the suppression from the celestial path substance became. It caused the spine of the Han family master to crack. He was in despair. How did this happen? Why couldn't he control what belonged to him? Why did this happen? Chance. The moment the tide-like supreme substance collapsed, a trace of viciousness flashed in Su Yan's eyes. In an instant, he took out the god-assimilating drum and unleashed the power of his primordial spirit to the extreme domain. He directly struck the drum. Dong! The sound of the collision surged violently, like thousands of lightning bolts resounding between heaven and earth. This was not a single sound. Su Yan circulated the Sutra of Future to its limits. He was practically aiming for the primordial spirit of a godly king. This also caused the god-assimilating drum, a rare supreme treasure that could scatter the primordial spirit of a godly king, to rumble and vibrate. Drum beats that could scatter gods and demons rang out one after another. No! The Han family master hollered. The secret treasure protecting him exploded. This was the god-assimilating drum that could target the divine king. So how could he take it? Su Yan didn't dare to get close, as he was worried that the celestial path substance could reform. This was why he used the god-assimilating drum to kill the Han family master. Su Yan, stop. Do you want to spend the rest of your life being chased? Han family experts roared one after another. They were so furious that their guts were about to explode. However, no matter what, it couldn't stop Su Yan's determination to kill the Han family master. Some people sighed. Could it be that the Han family master was conned to death by Xiaoming? This god-assimilating drum was his secret treasure. Dong dong. Sound after sound rang out, shaking heaven and earth and shaking one's soul. The Han family master cried out, but in the end, he couldn't block the sound waves and his soul was riddled with holes. I can't accept this. I can't accept this. The Han family master's soul couldn't be stabilized and exploded into pieces. His tragic cries were still left behind. This was a true soul destruction. Su Yin didn't believe that there was a special substance in the world that could reform a shattered soul. Chapter 978. Su Yan's breathing was heavy. Hitting the god assimilating drum was a huge toll on his soul, and his eyes were turning black. However, the power of the god assimilating drum caused Su Yin to be pleasantly surprised. This item was truly a rare treasure. It was indeed worthy of being the primordial spirit killing weapon that Xiaoming had given Han Weiran to deal with him. If Su Yan's primordial spirit was strong enough, then even the primordial spirit of a divine king would be in mortal danger. I don't believe it. You can still climb up. A cold light flashed in Su Yan's eyes. Now that he used the god assimilating drum to shatter the soul of the Han family master, Su Yin didn't believe that this kid could still live. The entire place was dead silent. Many people were speechless and didn't know what to say. They thought that the situation would turn around, but the results stunned them. Even if the Han family master revived, he still couldn't escape. There were also people who felt that his death was too aggrieved. He had clearly grasped a kind of powerful substance, but because he did not use it properly, he had lost control of the substance and injured himself once again. Otherwise, it would have been extremely difficult for Su Yin to take advantage of the situation. Now that the Han family master was shattered by the god assimilating drum, was there any doubt? He couldn't revive again, right? My family's master has fallen. The Han family members were in a daze. They suffered too heavy of a blow, and it was hard for them to recover from the pain. What was this? Their Han family had targeted Su Yin many times, but they were counterattacked by Su Yin time and time again. They suffered more and more losses each time. Until now, their Han family had lost the strongest expert of the younger generation and their strongest foundation in the future. This made them furious. This was equivalent to destroying their future hope. Su Yin. Their eyes were sharp as they stared at the person on the Dao battle platform. However, they didn't dare to do anything. This was because all the cultivators in the Dao city could sense that the aura of a supreme being was spitting out from the city. It was definitely the old antiques of the Dao temple monitoring. No one dared to do anything. None of the Han family's experts dared to move. However, there were a few old antiques who were itching to make a move because they recognized the origin of the substance. If news of this were spread, it would cause great waves. A series of bloody battles would erupt, and there might even be experts who would come knocking on the Han family's door. That was because the substance was too overpowered. It seemed like the Han family had high hopes for the master. Otherwise, they definitely wouldn't plant the substance in his body. Unfortunately, he had died in battle, and the substance had no owner. However, they were still wary. This was the city of the Great Path. Once they attacked the Great Path battle platform, they would definitely be targeted by the old antiques of the Dao Temple. Senior, I am confident that I can break through the Great Dao battle platform. Xiaoming slowly stood up and transmitted his voice to the source of the supreme pressure. Take away the immortal Dao substance. This item has no owner anyway. When the time comes, Senior can take 60%, and I will only take 40%. If outsiders heard Xiaoming's words, they would probably be scared speechless. He was speaking to an almighty, and he was even making a shameful deal with an almighty expert. Xiaoming wanted the almighty to break the rules and turn a blind eye to this matter. After all, Xiaoming was only taking away the substance and didn't do anything else. The reason why Xiaoming spoke was because he absolutely believed that the old antiques of the Dao Temple would definitely covet such a supreme substance. Although this substance was limited, 60% was already a lot for him. Xiaoming was very anxious because the old antique of the Dao Temple was silent. Could it be that he really didn't care? Actually, the old antique of the Dao Temple was really tempted. After Xiaoming finished speaking, he really wanted to agree. Just as he said, the immortal Dao substance already had no owner. Xiaoming was just taking the substance. All he needed to do was turn a blind eye or stop Xiaoming for a while. This would be considered an explanation. However, the old antique of the Dao Temple sneered. This Chiu Ming was really courting death. He had a great background, but Su Yin had an almighty elder brother by his side. Moreover, he had taken away the sky bamboo's most precious treasure with his bare hands. Mother of Asterisker, this Chiu Ming was really acting recklessly in front of an almighty expert. No matter how great his achievements were, even if he was the number one among the top kings, he was still not an almighty. In front of an almighty expert, he was still a mass of air. Even if the prehistoric elder brother didn't interfere, the old antique of the Tao Temple wouldn't let Chiu Ming act recklessly. He was very clear about Chiu Ming's temperament. Once he stepped onto the stage, the first thing he would do would be to get rid of Su Yin and take away the human-shaped puppet and god-assimilating drum. In any case, he had already made a deal with Chiu Ming. When the time came, Chiu Ming would decisively make his move. What could he say? He could only suffer in silence. There was no way he would agree to this deal. Boom! All of a sudden, a terrifying wave of energy spread out and filled the entire universe. The aura was too sudden and tyrannical. In an instant, a Pong with a terrifying aura rushed out from the distant world. Its figure was 10,000 feet tall, and its two pairs of enormous wings covered a territory of 10,000 miles. He came slashing down, tearing apart the great stars of the universe. It was as if a supreme demon lord had descended to the lower realm and was rushing straight for the Tao battle platform. How terrifying! Countless cultivators trembled, their scalps going numb. A large number of cultivators were also coughing up blood and wanted to shatter. How dare you? The Iron Blood King's face turned pale. What kind of ruthless person was this? He dared to use force on the local tyrant. Was he not afraid of dying a tragic death? Even his own family would be implicated at every turn. Chiu Ming's expression was gloomy and cold. There was really someone who did not care about the consequences and wanted to break through the Tao battle platform and seize the immortal Tao substance. However, the moment this Pong with a demonic aura approached the Tao battle platform, the entire Tao city became gloomy. A terrifying giant hand fell from the sky, blotting out the sky and covering the sun, causing the huge Tao city to tremble. Bang! The Pong with an imposing aura was directly smashed into a pile of ashes by the giant hand that fell from the sky. Many people were so shocked that they could not speak. It died just like that. This Pong was definitely at the peak of the Divine King's combat strength. In the end, it was completely obliterated by the old antiques of the Tao Temple. However, some people saw the clues. This was not a real Pong, but a killing technique evolved from a vast amount of blood essence. After all, no one dared to take the risk of causing trouble in the Tao City with their true body. Some people felt that this was a probing attack to see how strong the old antiques of the Tao City were. However, what they didn't expect was that just as the Pong was about to be destroyed, layers of resplendent black light soared up near the great Tao battle platform, accompanied by the release of vast divine might. The energy fluctuations were too great, squeezing the surrounding creatures to the point that their bodies cracked and were about to explode. Oh my God! The Divine King was terrified. One terrifying creature after another came out of the cage. There were true dragons, divine phoenixes, vermilion birds, and black tortoises. Every creature exuded extreme combat strength. The moment they appeared, it would lead to a catastrophe. There would definitely be a scene of millions of corpses and rivers of blood flowing. The Tao battle platform rumbled, and dense heavenly marks of the great path flashed. However, the Tao battle platform could not withstand the pressure of this torrent and could be torn apart at any time. On the battle platform, Su Yan's expression changed drastically. Someone was taking the risk to attack. They must have come for the immortal Tao substance. Be asterisk starred. An angry voice exploded, one after another. It was vast and surged down like a corner of the universe. The words of a mighty figure were law. Moreover, a huge figure soared up from the source, filling up heaven and earth. He was too majestic. Billions of rays of light of order appeared and shone down, suppressing the entire East Street. No creature dared to act rashly. A large number of cultivators who were about to be destroyed in body and soul also stabilized their bodies. To the horror of all the cultivators present, the mighty figure roared angrily. One after another, creatures with terrifying auras disintegrated, exploding into dense, bloody light. In such a situation, the mighty figure's divine might could be seen at a glance. Who would dare to behave atrociously in the Tao City? Who did it? It's a killing technique evolved from blood essence. It must be an outstanding half-step mighty figure. As soon as he finished speaking, the figure of the old antique from the Tao Temple appeared. His aura was cold and oppressive. With a flick of his finger, a huge crack millions of miles long appeared in space, extending straight to a certain space-time outside the Tao City. This space-time directly disintegrated, and a figure inside screamed and fled. Where do you think you're going? The old antique from the Tao Temple sat cross-legged in the Tao City. His divine might suppress the sun and the moon, suppressing the vast territory. His aura could easily extend hundreds of millions of miles. No matter how strong this caster's combat power was, he couldn't escape from the mighty figure's palm. "Senior, please spare my life." The old monster who secretly attacked was terrified. He didn't expect to be directly targeted by a mighty figure. However, under the fury of the mighty figure, he was merciless. His big hand, directly stretched out, grabbed the terrifying leader who had fled hundreds of thousands of miles and directly crushed him into pieces. A half-step mighty figure disintegrated just like that, exploding into bloody light, dyeing the mountains and rivers red. The entire Tao City was silent as if a cold wind had swept over, making all the cultivators feel as if they had fallen into an ice cave. This was a mighty figure. It deeply shocked everyone. Even the Iron Blood King respected him from the bottom of their hearts. A mighty figure was really too powerful and peerless. Su Yin felt goosebumps all over his body. Back then, when he escaped from the hands of an Almighty, he was really lucky. What kind of substance is this? Finally, someone came back to their senses and looked at the substance on the Tao battle platform with blazing eyes. It was definitely the substance that made the half-step mighty figure take a risk and lose his life. The old antiques who were ready to make a move all sighed. There was an old monster in the Tao City, so they couldn't take the celestial path substance by force. Even if a mighty figure came, they would have to consider the serious consequences of starting a war in the Tao City. Buzz, the celestial path substance floating on the Tao battle platform, shone one after another. Because of the death of the master of the Han family, these substances evaporated and merged into one on their own. It was like a drop of blood was born. It was so bright that it could crush time and space. It lay on the Tao battle platform and was dazzling. Su Yan's emotions surged. The moment this drop of blood-like celestial path substance was formed, Su Yan's battle body burned on its own. Vaguely, white mist filled his entire body. He looked a little empty and didn't exist. At this moment, Su Yin realized that this drop of blood-like celestial path substance had a certain connection with him. Su Yin acted decisively. He directly reached out his hand and grabbed this drop of celestial path substance. Chapter 979. Su Yan's heart thumped as he held the item in his hand. From this moment on, he didn't know how many burning gazes were staring at him and the immortal Tao item floating in his hand. From this moment on, the cold killing intent was about to pierce Su Yan's soul. Su Yan didn't know how great the fortune of this item was. However, a rare item that could make a half-step grand cultivator take the risk was definitely not ordinary. It also had the heaven-defying effect of reviving the dead. In short, this item made many old monsters green with envy. Some of them stared at Su Yin with murderous gazes. Boom! Inexplicably, the huge Great Tao City shook violently. Layers of extremely heavy auras suddenly filled the entire Great Tao City. The weak cultivators trembled. Their hearts beat violently, and they felt dizzy. This was definitely the energy wave released by many strong cultivators at the same time. It was too terrifying and domineering. It was like a group of divine dragons reviving. Not good. Little Lion King and the others' expressions changed. The item that Su Yin obtained from the Han family's master was very terrifying. It made a group of old monsters unable to control themselves. Even with the bloody lesson of a half-step grand cultivator being killed, they still couldn't control themselves. What kind of fortune was this? The great Tao city, where a grand cultivator was in charge, had signs of a storm. Actually, many of the envious old monsters didn't even know what this item was. However, to be able to revive the Han family's master and reassemble his broken battle body, it was enough to show that the item that Su Yin obtained was earth-shattering. What a joke. Even a half-step grand cultivator risked his life to sneak attack the great Tao battle stage. How could this be an ordinary item? Facing the monstrous pressure that surged from all directions, Su Yin was suffocating. Too many people wanted to obtain this item. Perhaps if it wasn't for the prehistoric big brother beside him, Su Yin wouldn't have come into contact with such a troublesome item. After all, even if he obtained it, how many days could he hold on to it? The safest way was to throw it into an auction. Now that this item was in Su Yin's hands, it would definitely cause a bloodbath. That's from my clan. That's my clan. Some of the old experts of the Han family were mad with hatred. However, no matter how angry they were now, they could only grit their teeth and swallow their anger. No matter how angry they were, they could not vent it out now. If they used force at this juncture, the old antiques of the Taoist temple would definitely forcibly stop them. The atmosphere of the entire scene was particularly heavy. Everyone's eyes were focused on Su Yin. He had fought 2 battles in a row, and he had displayed a monstrous demeanor. His name was bound to shake the world. If you want it, then come and get it. Su Yin took a deep breath. He put away the immortal Tao substance. As for how to use it, he still had to ask Big Brother Prehistoric. He left just like that. An icy, cold voice assaulted him. In the end, Xiaoming couldn't help but stand out. He had his hands behind his back while dazzling divine radiance flowed around his figure. Every single breath he took caused the heavens and the earth to tremble slightly. Xiaoming's strength was undeniable, but why did he stand out now? This attracted the attention of many people. The Han family's master realm had all fallen. Did Xiaoming stand out to target Su Yin? Su Yan's cold eyes landed on Xiaoming's body, and he said coldly, "If you have something to say, then say it." Xiaoming looked down at Su Yin from above. His eyes revealed a trace of disdain, as if he was looking at an ant with disdain. Who could take such an attitude and gaze? Su Yin laughed coldly in his heart. He knew what Xiaoming wanted to do. He replied, "Why? Do you want to fight me at the same realm?" "I said it. Do you dare?" Xiaoming's tone was filled with disdain. He was infuriating Su Yin to make him fight him at the same realm. Xiaoming was invincible in all areas and was a true genius, a top king. His combat strength was so terrifying that people couldn't estimate it. He could be said to be one of the main characters of the world. "Speak, what do you want to bet?" Su Yin asked calmly. There was chaos all around, and many people felt a headache. Was Su Yin going to fight again? Was he going to fight Xiaoming? Was this fellow crazy? Xiaoming was a top king. Even if he suppressed his strength to heaven god realm, his strength was definitely the overlord of his generation. Let's bet that drop of blood. Xiaoming was sure that Su Yin definitely didn't know what the celestial path substance was. Very few people knew about it. Even the Han family probably didn't know much about it. The value of this thing couldn't be measured by money. It was something that was hard to find in the world. "Ha ha!" Su Yin raised his head and laughed. There was a hint of disdain and mockery in his words. His laughter shook heaven and earth and spread far and wide. On the Tao battle platform, Han Weiran didn't say anything. Her expression became dimmer and more disappointed. A few hundred years had passed. She had always loved Xiaoming. Xiaoming definitely knew this. If Xiaoming hadn't taken the initiative to say something, Han Weiran wouldn't have loved him for a few hundred years. It had been a few hundred years. Han Weiran thought that when she stepped into the Divine King realm, she would be able to marry Xiaoming. However, the man she had always loved didn't say a word for her from the moment she lost the bet to the moment she lost face and was humiliated. Even now, he stood up to challenge Su Yin. It was all for the Han family's master realm material that could bring the dead back to life. What are you laughing at? Xiao Ming shouted coldly. If you're scared, just say it. Don't play dumb here. Scared? Why would I be scared of you, Xiao Ming? Su Yin pointed at Xiao Ming and shouted coldly. Isn't it just a battle of the same level? Why not? But you have to think carefully about this bet. What are you going to use to exchange for this drop of blood? Don't worry about the bet. Xiao Ming became more and more excited. He calmed himself down and said, I'll give you some time to recover. Don't say that I won with an unfair advantage. I think I'll bring you something you'll be satisfied with in tonight's battle. What a joke. Su Yin sneered and said, Right now, you, Xiao Ming, are the one challenging me. You didn't even ask if I had time. I'm sorry, but I'm busy these few days. While I'm free, I'll come to the Great Dao battle platform to kill you. The last sentence reverberated throughout the area and caused an uproar. The outstanding figures of the younger generation were all terrified. Madman Su was indeed Madman Su, the dignified Xiao Ming, an absolute king who was invincible in his generation. Now that Su Yin had said that he would find some time to come and kill him, they were truly terrified. Just how bold and confident was this fellow? Of course, some people thought that Su Yin was stalling for time. Su Yin definitely wouldn't fight Xiao Ming. But to Su Yin, the battle with Xiao Ming was just a matter of time. He didn't fear any young overlord at the same level. Su Yin grasped the initial fist, and that was enough for him to stand in the top of his generation. But Xiao Ming had many tricks up his sleeves. It was almost impossible for him to kill Xiao Ming in his current state. After all, Su Yin was only a peak God Realm expert. Also, during the battle with the Han family master, his body nurturing technique was used up. How dare you? Xiao Ming was furious. Thunder exploded in his body, and he really couldn't control himself anymore. However, Su Yin walked off the Dao battle platform and appeared in front of everyone. This scene, it was unknown just how many eyes were secretly spying on him from all directions, even accompanied by a type of bitter, killing intent. It was unknown just how many people wanted to kill him, seize the immortal Dao substance. Su Yin really hoped that someone couldn't help but make a move. He even hoped that Xiao Ming would make a move on him. The prehistoric big brother was right beside Su Yin. Even if an expert wanted to do something to Su Yin, he would have to ask if Zhong Tian agreed or not. Su Yin swaggered through the streets, and before he left, he glanced at Xiao Ming and said, Don't forget, you still owe me a portion of the universe, Mother Liquid. You, the dignified Xiao Ming, are also a character. Don't go back on your words. Be asterisk starred. Xiao Ming's fists were clenched so tightly that crackling sounds could be heard. The fury in his body was boiling, and his killing intent was like a heavenly blade that filled the sky. He really had the feeling of tearing Su Yin into pieces. The Iron Blood King's face darkened. Why did Su Yin keep provoking Xiao Ming for no reason? Although this was Dao City, could Su Yin really hide in Dao City for the rest of his life? Sooner or later, he would leave the city. Once he left the city, it was hard to imagine how dark and murderous it would be. In short, Dao City wasn't peaceful. Too many gazes were fixed on Su Yin, wanting his life. All of this was thanks to the celestial path material. Of course, Su Yin had many enemies. It was estimated that in a few days' time, many heroes would gather in Dao City, and they would all gather because of one person. Su Yin couldn't imagine what kind of scene it would be when that day came. In short, with Big Brother Prehistoric by his side, Su Yin wasn't afraid at all. Since Big Brother Prehistoric was going to protect him for a period of time, then he might as well turn things upside down and reach the point where he could intimidate all the clans in the world. Ended just like that, the spectators on the Dao battle platform heaved a sigh of relief. Some people recalled this battle, and their hair stood on end. Han Weiran is still alive. Su Yin didn't kill Han Weiran. Someone saw Han Weiran, who was still in a daze on the battle platform. An old expert shook his head. Su Yin didn't kill her because he had achieved his goal. From now on, Han Weiran would probably completely give up on Xiao Ming. The Han family's relationship with Xiao Ming would also not be as close as before. Han Weiran and Xiao Ming are completely finished. There were also experts from the Sky Bamboo branch watching the battle. Someone whispered, "It's said that Xiaoming has been in love with Bamboo Moon for a long time. Since Han Weiran and Xiaoming are about to break off, wouldn't our clan's Bamboo Moon be able to take advantage of the situation?" It's hard to say. It's said that the relationship between Bamboo Moon and Su Yin is not trivial. Su Yin is indeed terrifying. Our clan's estimation of his battle prowess was wrong. However, he went too far today. Soon, he will face a great disaster. His chances of survival are slim. Moreover, this person's potential is too far away from Xiaoming's. These cultivators from the Sky Bamboo branch were discussing. They probably didn't know that their clan's 5-color war flag had already been taken away by their prehistoric big brother. On the other hand, because Han Weiran seemed to have parted ways with Xiaoming, many experts from the large clans became restless. Should they let their clan's pearl get closer to Xiaoming? Perhaps she might be able to catch the eye of this peerless king? As for Su Yin, he was currently striding away from the East Main Street. King Kampa directly went up to him and said with a smile, "Fellow Taoist, you're truly a man of few words. Even I have misjudged you. My apologies. King Kampa, you made a killing, right? Do you want to treat us to a meal?" Su Yin looked at King Kampa. He was now a tycoon. He had made a fortune completely from gambling. Of course. King Kampa nodded impatiently. Wasn't it just a meal? What's the big deal? It wouldn't cost much anyway. He was even eager to establish a relationship with the Almighty. At the same time, he laughed softly and said, "Fellow Taoist, there's something that the Almighty of my Tao temple would like to discuss with you." Chapter 980. Su Yan's heart skipped a beat. Su Yan did not expect that the old man would want to see him. What kind of person was a major power? Even a god king would find it extremely difficult to make a major power speak. However, after thinking about it for a while, he understood that the old man from the Taoist temple had definitely come for the immortal path material. Su Yan really could not refuse a mighty figure who had specifically asked him to go over and speak. Moreover, the old man from the Taoist temple had helped him before. "It is my honor that a powerful person wants to see me." Su Yan's voice rang out, causing the tense divine King Kong Bo to heave a sigh of relief. He didn't dare to force Su Yan, but he had to complete the mission given to him by the old antiques of the Tao Hall perfectly. The scene of the Tao Church's old antique crushing a half-step mighty figure to death with his bare hands had a huge impact on God King Kong Bo. Now that he had a huge amount of wealth on him, he was determined to take another step forward. But Su Yan's tone changed, and he looked like he was in a difficult position. King Kampa smiled bitterly and said, "If you have something to say, just say it. However, if the powerful person wants to see you, I think it is best to go. Of course, this is the Great Path City, and the Tao Hall has always been fair. We will not make things difficult for you." Su Yan laughed and said, "King Kampa, what are you talking about? Why would a powerful person make things difficult for a junior like me? However, I have already guessed why the powerful person wants to see me." King Kampa also knew that although he did not know what material the master of the Han family had, there must be something heaven-defying if it could revive him. Since this item could make the old men in the Great Path City want to kill him, it meant that this item was also attractive to powerful people. If not for the fact that Su Yan was accompanied by his big brother, the powerful person from a Tao Hall would have moved Su Yan to the powerful person's residence. However, that item is also very important to my big brother. Hearing Su Yan's words, Divine King Kong Bo sighed in his heart. It was just as he had guessed. Su Yan had a powerful person by his side who had probably seen through the extraordinariness of this item. There was no way he would sell this item to the old antiques of the Tao Temple. If the powerful person wants to see me only because of this item, I am afraid I will not dare to go. King Kampa did not know whether to laugh or cry at Su Yan's words. What is there that you don't dare to do? Even Xiaoming was offended by you. You killed the Han family master just like that. With your identity, once word gets out, he dares to say that Grand Tao City will become a tiger's den. However, Kong Bo felt that once the matter blew up, just a prehistoric big brother would not be able to protect Su Yan. I understand what you mean. I will inform him again. King Kampa hesitated for a while and said, "That is not a big deal. Take my token and go to the Great Path Food Abode first. That is a restaurant opened by the Dao Hall. I am considered half a manager there. I have already made the arrangements." "Thank you, King Kampa." Su Yin smiled. Zhu Yu also turned her head and covered her red lips with her jade-like hand. If the prehistoric big brother really let loose and ate as much as he wanted, it would be enough to make divine King Kong Bo's heart ache. However, King Kampa was now a rich man. Su Yin estimated that he had won at least a few 100,000 chaos treasures. This was a terrifying amount of wealth. It should not be a big deal to have a meal, right? Ha ha, it is a small matter. King Kampa did not take it to heart. He even said respectfully to the prehistoric big brother, "Senior, I will take my leave first. I will bring a few jars of precious divine wine for you to taste." Speaking of divine wine, the prehistoric big brother obviously glanced at King Kampa. King Kampa left happily. He decided to take out all his wealth. Maybe the Almighty would be happy and teach him some tricks to ascend the path to heaven. What was the path to heaven? The peak of the Divine King was the ultimate realm of cultivators. Going one step further would be going against the heavens. This path was extremely difficult to explore. Just relying on oneself or the cultivation experience left behind by almighty experts was not enough. It was not enough. If there was an almighty who could teach him, it would be enough for King Kampa to benefit for life. If he could break through because of this, he would be greatly indebted. The Great Dao Food Residence was the top restaurant in the Great Dao City. It was not inferior to the heavenly abode at all. Su Yin walked toward the Great Dao Food Residence. The Great Dao City was in an uproar now. News was flying everywhere, and all kinds of explosive news were appearing frequently. Even the various spatial array platforms were glowing constantly, crazily transmitting news to the outside world. The Great Dao City was the #1 city in the universe. Once the news spread, it would quickly spread to all the big and small forces in the Chaos Ruins. In less than a day, the news caused a huge commotion, causing a huge commotion in the Chaos Ruins. It caused an uproar among countless experts. Big news. The Han family's master has fallen. Just this news alone was enough to make all the young overlords who were training in the outside world, in seclusion in the universe's secret realms, and in the death zone tremble. It was too sudden. The famous master of the Han family had suddenly fallen. How is that possible? How did the master of the Han family die? Did he die while exploring the death zone? Someone was very nervous because he was also adventuring in the death zone and was worried about the threat of death. It has only been 3 years since I parted with the master. How'd he break through and die? This is the biggest joke in the world. The #1 of the younger generation of the Han family actually died. This matter had a bad effect. After all, the master was too famous. Many experts didn't believe it at all. Many of their good friends were so shocked that they couldn't speak. The master of the Han family was killed by Madman Su on the Great Dao battle platform. This news was very shocking and spread throughout the vast Chaos Ruins. In an instant, tens of thousands of races were in an uproar. The young overlords were all shocked, causing a huge commotion. Su Yin, a rising star of the Burial Realm clan, had many enemies. He had entered the primal chaos passageway and started a massacre. He had broken through the God Burial Mountain, a place of absolute death, and even massacred the 3 Chaos God Mountains. A young overlord who had barged into the primal chaos ruins from the outside world had once been questioned by various young experts about his battle prowess. There were even many people who said that they wanted to suppress Su Yan's limelight and let him know who the primal chaos ruins belonged to. However, at this moment, they received news that the Han family master was smashed into pieces by Su Yin on the platform. His soul was wiped out. This matter made some people tremble. Although they didn't know Su Yin, they knew that masters weren't ordinary people. In just one night, Su Yan's name spread and shocked the world. Sure, some young overlords of the Chaos Ruins were furious. The Saint Heaven Battle God was like an angry beast as he hollered, "A trash race rising star dares to beat up a master on the Great Dao City platform." He has lost all our face. Master is such a piece of trash. This Su Yin is just too arrogant, daring to beat up the Han family master. The Chaos Ruins definitely won't allow such an outsider to appear. The Saint Heaven Battle God's treasure body spat out an indestructible light. His terrifying physical body burned like a golden furnace that could burn down the universe. His entire body surged with indestructible might. Great Tao City, Su Yin. In a certain ancient universe secret realm, because of the awakening of a single person, the vast secret realm world trembled. Even the mountains and mountains had huge black cracks all over them. A terrifying aura spread, and a terrifying life force was awakening. Zhu Tian sat cross-legged in a stone pool with a thick god-demon aura. His eyes were ice-cold, and if others saw this, they would be shocked. This was a god-demon pool that had nurtured an entire universe epic. The god-demon treasure liquid that was nurtured within was a priceless item for training the body. However, it was all taken by one person. In the current Chaos Ruins, one name exploded. Killing the Han family master was something that many experts couldn't believe. Many of Su Yan's enemies couldn't sit still anymore. North Monster, Sun Dome, Emperor Nan, these people were collecting fortunes in their own secret realms to train their bodies. They were originally waiting for them to finish before doing something that would shock the world. However, they didn't expect that Su Yin would actually beat up the Han family master. This was something that they didn't expect. A storm gathered in Great Tao City. To some old antiques, what they cared about was the celestial path material. This was the true treasure that they wanted. Undercurrents surged in the city. Killing intent bloomed from time to time, causing the entire Great Tao City to be restless. Some people smiled bitterly. The outside world was in chaos, but Su Yin went straight to the Great Tao food residence and entered the most prestigious room. It was as if he was cut off from the rest of the world. Some people were even worried that he would escape, so they paid close attention to the Great Tao food residence. Some old antiques even speculated that Su Yin might be working with the Tao Temple. With the Tao Temple's power, they could send Su Yin out of the city. He might even sell the celestial path material to the Tao Temple. These are all guesses now. This matter would definitely blow up. As for the Great Tao food residence, King Kampa was really nice. He arranged a sumptuous meal for Su Yin to eat. Just the essence of the food was enough to make up for his weakness from the battle. Once again, Su Yin sealed his physical body. He made up his mind not to use his physical body's battle prowess as much as possible. After all, Su Yin needed to unseal his body-nurturing technique once again. The amount of time and wealth he would need to spend would be shocking. King Kampa hasn't returned yet. It seems like some almighty from the Tao Temple really wants that material. Bamboo Moon said softly. She was worried that the Tao Temple would have bad intentions and make a move secretly. Although the Tao Hall had always stood aloof from worldly affairs, the treasures that could truly move the hearts of the mighty were truly incredible. Once the old antiques of the Tao Hall hardened their hearts and made a move in secret, it would be a huge problem for Su Yin. Don't worry. With Big Brother here, no demons or ghosts will be able to get away. Su Yin was full of confidence. This made Bamboo Moon slightly stunned. How strong was the prehistoric Big Brother? This was an unknown. However, speak of the devil. Haha, I'm sorry I'm late. King Kampa pushed the door open and walked in. When he saw that there was almost nothing left on the table, his heart skipped a beat. Fine, he had to get another table. However, King Kampa was very good at maintaining his composure. He smiled and said, "How is it? The delicacies of our Great Tao food residence are good, right? This is one of the top restaurants in the Great Tao City. Even the cooking utensils are rare treasures." Just as Su Yin was about to reply, a powerful aura attacked him. A tall man walked in from outside the door. He was dressed in a long black robe. The moment he entered, the brightly lit room dimmed. This person's aura was like a giant black mountain that suppressed the universe's stars. It was truly terrifying. The sovereign physique. Su Yin was moved. His gaze landed on the man in black. This was definitely the sovereign physique. Su Yin could already sense a faint trace of the sovereign's aura. The man in black looked at the dishes on the table. There were a total of 108 dishes. His eyes flashed with a hint of displeasure. He said slowly, "The three of us ate so much. King Kampa, the Dao Hall has given you the right, but you can't be extravagant and wasteful. I'm treating my friends to a banquet. Naturally, I will pay. What does this have to do with the Dao Hall?" King Kampa's face darkened. He wasn't someone to be trifled with. This guy didn't give him any face at all. Did he really think that he was the divine king? He. The man in black sneered. His gaze quickly landed on Su Yin. He was tall and majestic. He was born with a terrifying aura. He was like a dark divine king with shocking aura. He waved at him and said, "You must be Su Yin. I have something to discuss with you. Come over here." Jiutian Divine Emperor. Chapter 981. The black-clothed man's attitude was very lofty. His actions did not surprise Divine King Kongbo. This person's background was very great, and his battle prowess was extremely terrifying. He was also known as the invincible war god of his generation in the Chaos Ruins. Just the faintly discernible divine might of the sovereign physique within his body was filled with a shocking, oppressive feeling. He was born with a deterrent force that could suppress the heavens and the earth. He looked down on cultivators of the same generation and did not attach too much importance to Su Yin. In his mind, only those with the sovereign physique of the same generation were worthy of his attention. Only with this kind of terrifying physique could one become a top cultivator of the same generation in the future. After all, once this kind of physique was discovered, one would walk towards the ultimate domain, and there would be few opponents in the same realm. Su Yin glanced at the black-robed man. This person looked down on him, and even came uninvited without any manners. Su Yin didn't need to be polite to him. "King Kampa, we can't wait any longer for your wine." Su Yan's eyes landed on King Kampa. He smiled and said, "Although the delicacies of the great Dao food residents are top-notch, the wine they sent is slightly inferior." "Haha, it's my fault for keeping you waiting, fellow Daoist." King Kampa's laughter was loud and clear. He knew very well that someone like Su Yin didn't need to lower his head for a sovereign physique. The black-robed man's expression gradually turned cold. He stared at Su Yin and shouted, "The great Su Yin can't be a good-for-nothing, right? Now that an important guest has arrived, is this how you treat your guest? Su Yin, you've disappointed me too much." What a joke. Su Yan's heart was filled with anger. He stared coldly at the black-robed man and shouted, "You're the one who came here shamelessly. I didn't invite you, and I've disappointed you. Who do you think you are? Su Yin, how dare you? Do you know who I am?" The black-robed man's eyes widened in anger. The pressure from his body suddenly skyrocketed, and his aura was terrifying. He was like a slumbering primordial being that was rippling with supreme might, filled with the power to suppress the heavens. Bamboo Moon's expression changed slightly. She felt a kind of pressure. The invisible force field that the black-clothed man emitted had a very strong deterrent force, which was very rare. She pondered for a moment and understood. This person's reputation was indeed astonishing. It was rumored that the Divine King's realm was close to his. Boom! Su Yin suddenly stood up. His aura leaked out, causing the space to tremble. He allowed the black-clothed man's aura to grow stronger. But it didn't affect Su Yin at all. His entire body was emitting the ferocious aura of an ancient dragon. He glared at the black-clothed man and said, "Brat, I think you're here to pick a fight. I say, King Kampa, why did you bring such an arrogant and despotic thing?" King Kampa squeezed out an ugly smile and said bitterly, "Daoist Su Yin, I really don't know the purpose of this heaven suppression battle god's visit." So it's true. Bamboo Moon's slender hands clenched slightly. Her guess was right. The Daoist temple had 3 peerless geniuses. The Sagely Battle God was one of them, and the second was the Heaven Suppression Battle God. 2 supreme physiques. Once they reached the Divine King's realm in the future, they would be 2 shocking young battle monarchs. Supreme physiques were at their strongest in the Divine King's realm. This was without a doubt. Once a supreme physique stepped into this realm, their magic power would be overwhelming. Even a peak divine king would be able to contend with a half-step grand cultivator. The heaven suppression battle god was a type of heaven suppression physique. This type of physique was extremely special. Once this physique was born, it was born with a shocking pressure. Cultivators of the same generation were nothing in front of it. Heaven suppression battle god. Su Yin frowned and shook his head. I've never heard of it. Where did you come from? You. The heaven suppression battle god's expression darkened. He was shocked and furious. He didn't expect Su Yin to not know him. Was this guy doing this on purpose? Both the sagely battle god and the heaven suppression battle god were completely different from the Han family's master realm. The Han family's master realm walked the path of the mystic gate, while the sagely battle god and the heaven suppression battle god were extremely powerful and specialized in close combat. The heaven suppression battle god is a genius of the Tao Temple. King Kampa quickly stepped out to smooth things over. Haha, I see that we're all not outsiders. Heaven suppression battle god, what do you want? Tell Su Yin yourself. King Kampa didn't tell the heaven suppression battle god that there was a grand cultivator in the room. Otherwise, he wouldn't have dared to barge in. The main thing was that the heaven suppression battle god didn't give him any face. Although he had a grand cultivator as a senior and was even an old antique in the great Tao city, King Kampa was still a peak divine king. On the way here, he even told the heaven-suppressing battle god that Su Yin was his friend and that they should talk things out and not harm each other. In the end, it seemed like because of the old antique, the heaven suppression battle god didn't care about him. This made King Kampa very unhappy. Wasn't it just a grand cultivator? Su Yin had a grand cultivator as his big brother, so he didn't seem to be arrogant. The heaven suppression battle god said coldly, Su Yin, my purpose here is very simple. I just want to say a few words to you. A person must know how to repay kindness. Spit it out. Su Yin was furious. This kid thought too highly of himself. He didn't know him at all and didn't have any enmity with him. However, this guy's nose was in the air. It was obvious that he looked down on him. I'll find a chance to teach you a lesson. The heaven suppression battle god was furious, but he could only suppress it. He calmed down and said, the grand cultivator in the great Tao city has helped you time and time again. He deterred all the old experts who wanted to harm you. He even killed a half-step grand cultivator. Because of this, he has incurred quite a bit of karma. At this point, Su Yin understood that this guy was here for the immortal Tao material. But the grand cultivator asked you to go over and talk, and you actually refused. I think you don't know how to appreciate it. The heaven suppression battle god was filled with anger. He shouted coldly, come with me to the grand cultivator's residence immediately and explain everything to me. You're here on behalf of the grand cultivator? Su Yin asked calmly. Is there a need to represent? How can a grand cultivator lower himself to the same level as a junior like you? It's your fortune to be invited by him. The heaven suppression battle god said coldly, Su Yin, I'll give you a chance. Come with me to the grand cultivator's residence now. Correct your attitude and apologize. King Kampa's face fell. Originally, he was the one who invited Su Yin to meet the grand cultivator. But now, the heaven suppression battle god directly asked Su Yin to go to the grand cultivator's residence to apologize. King Kampa was a bit embarrassed. He frowned and said, heaven suppression battle god, this is not a grand cultivator. This is none of your business. The heaven suppression battle god glared at King Kampa and reprimanded, I'm asking Su Yin to go to the grand cultivator's residence. King Kampa, why are you siding with an outsider? If the grand cultivator didn't make a move that day, Su Yin wouldn't be able to stand here and drink and eat unscathed. Divine King Kongbo was both shocked and furious. This heaven suppression battle god didn't take him seriously at all. To the heaven suppression battle god, what was the divine king? He was an expert infinitely close to the divine king's domain. He was confident that he could step into the divine king's domain within 10 years and become a famous figure in the universe in one fell swoop. Once the heaven suppression battle god stepped into the divine king's domain, even King Kampa would have to step aside. They weren't on the same level at all. Was there a need to give him face? Moreover, the heaven suppression battle god had a grand cultivator behind him. Ha ha, what big words! What big courage! Su Yin laughed angrily and said, "You clearly have a favor to ask of me, yet you're still acting so arrogant. Today, I'll say it right here. Even if this is the Tao Grand Cultivator's intention, I won't go. You bastard! Say it again if you have the guts." The heaven suppression battle god was enraged. His entire body surged with a terrifying divine aura. The heaven suppression battle god that he had been trying his best to suppress began to stir. A vast heaven suppression power spread out, wanting to suppress Su Yin on the spot. "Are you deaf?" Su Yin said with a cold face. "If you don't have anything to say, then get lost. I, the heaven suppression battle god, have roamed the chaos ruins for hundreds of years, and I've never seen someone as arrogant as you." The heaven suppression battle god's face was extremely gloomy. "Am I the arrogant one, or are you the arrogant one?" Su Yin shouted with a cold face. "Don't use grand cultivators to suppress me. Do you think you're a grand cultivator? What a joke. Su Yin, you're very good. You have guts. Originally, Xiao Ming said that he wanted to kill you, but I don't think you're much. Do you dare to fight with me on the Tao battle stage?" The heaven suppression battle god's body surged with killing intent. His battle body was filled with a supreme aura that could easily suppress millions of mountains. He had always been invincible among his peers. He didn't believe that he couldn't suppress Su Yin. "Do you dare or not? Even if I have to take the risk of offending Taoist Brother Xiao Ming, I'll still crush you. If worst comes to worst, I'll seek forgiveness from Taoist Brother Xiao Ming after I'm done." The heaven suppression battle god's tone was aggressive. He also had a look of mockery and ridicule on his face, as if he was certain that he could defeat Su Yin. "I've never refused a challenge." Su Yin strode over and shouted, "Go back now and prepare 1,000 drops of Cosmic Mother liquid as a bet. I'll fight with you." "Isn't it just 1,000 drops of Cosmic Mother liquid?" The heaven suppression battle god suppressed his urge to curse and said with a dark face, "Why not? I guarantee on the reputation of the Tao Palace that if you win, I can give you 1,000 drops of Cosmic Mother liquid. But if you lose, you have to give me the immortal Tao substance." "You're representing the reputation of the Tao Palace?" Su Yin shook his head and sneered. "If you want to gain something without risking anything, come and find me after you take out 1,000 drops of Cosmic Mother liquid. The battle on the Great Tao battle stage can start at any time." "You're scared." The heaven suppression battle god was furious. Where was he going to find 1,000 drops of Cosmic Mother liquid? Su Yin was clearly making excuses. He was afraid of the sovereign's divine might and didn't dare to fight him head-on. King Kampa didn't dare to breathe loudly. He was really worried that the heaven suppression battle god would go overboard. He said angrily, "Heaven suppression battle god, since you've already said so much, I don't think there's any need to continue." "Okay, King Kampa, I'll remember you." The heaven suppression battle god was furious. This King Kampa actually dared to go against him. Didn't he know that he had forgotten who his master was? However, there were some things that the heaven suppression battle god couldn't say. He was both shocked and angry. He really didn't dare to act recklessly in the Great Tao City. Although he had a powerful elder and was the guardian of the Great Tao City, he couldn't do anything wrong. The guardian of the Great Tao City couldn't do anything for him. Otherwise, the old antiques of the Tao Palace would scare off all the experts who were ready to make a move. Wouldn't that be a joke? Su Yin, let's wait and see. The heaven suppression battle god was so angry that he turned around and left. He cursed in his heart. "He's scared and doesn't dare to fight me." Although the Han family's master lost miserably, Su Yin is also proficient in the mystic arts. The Han family's master lost too unjustly. The atmosphere in the room quieted down. King Kampa's expression was a bit awkward. Bamboo Moon was very generous and invited King Kampa to sit down and talk. Celestial Tao substance. How does he know about celestial Tao substance? Su Yan's expression kept changing. He shouted in his heart, "Seems like it's the order of a powerful being. This thing is really precious." If the heaven suppression battle god didn't have the approval of a powerful being, he wouldn't even know what it is. But the old antiques of the Tao Palace are really sure that the Heaven Suppression Battle God can suppress me on the Tao battle stage. I can't stay in the great Tao city for too long. The longer I waste time, the more strong enemies will come. Although Big Brother's combat strength is extraordinary, if someone tries to attack him secretly, he will be at a disadvantage. Su Yin felt a chill down his spine. The celestial Tao substance was too dangerous. He really felt like he was in a terrifying whirlpool. The threats from all sides made Su Yin feel suffocated. 9 Heavens God Emperor. Chapter 982. King Kampa's expression was a bit awkward, but he didn't ask what the immortal Tao substance was. He took out some wine jars. These jars were all made of precious chaos materials. They were filled with chaos, ancient qi, and gave off a sense of vicissitudes. The jars were sealed for a very long time. After the seal was removed, the thick wine fragrance wafted out, refreshing one's heart. Bamboo Moon smelled it and felt like she was going to faint. She was shocked. The age of this god wine was probably over 100,000 years old. This was a rare god wine. Each jar was worth more than 500 kilograms of chaos materials. King Kampa also took out 5 jars and smiled. I can't even bear to drink this. I don't know if it was left by my grandfather's grandfather or my grandfather's grandfather. Anyway, it's been treasured until now. It's good wine. Su Yin regained his senses and glanced at King Kampa. King Kampa smiled bitterly. Su Yin, this has nothing to do with me. I don't know what the Han family's master took out before he died, but I feel like we shouldn't stay in Tao City for long. There's no rush. Su Yin's reply made King Kampa's heart tremble. How strong was his big brother? Su Yin was still able to maintain his composure in such a situation. Before his big brother made his move, Su Yin did not know what level his prehistoric big brother was at. In short, he had once caused a big incident, which shocked the entire Chaos Ruins. With this god by his side, what was Su Yin afraid of? Actually, what Su Yin didn't know was that the entire Han family had gone crazy. Killing was everywhere in the family. The old antiques that had been sleeping for thousands of years came out one after another. Some of the Han family's experts even went to the ancestral land to worship in the dangerous lands. There were also people calling out from the famous mountains and rivers. In just a few days, some of the Han family's old monsters that were sleeping in the various dangerous lands, and even in their own universe secret realms, all returned. The entire Han family welcomed a huge change. In the entire Han family's ancestral land, even a few living fossil-level people crawled out. Their flesh and blood were all dried up, and they didn't have much lifespan left. But when they went crazy, the dried-up blood energy in their bodies gave off a terrifying aura. Han family's ancestral land was filled with demons. A Han family expert shouted in rage. The top of the younger generation of our family was killed on the battle platform. If we don't take revenge, our Han family won't have the face to live in the Chaos Ruins. We will be ashamed to face our ancestors. The fact that the Master Realm Master was smashed on the platform made the entire Han family go crazy. Su Yin, this little bastard, kill him. The elders in the family all started to roar, shaking the stars in the sky and shattering many stars in the universe. A group of divine King Kais gathered. Half-step powerful beings appeared one after another. The Han family didn't have any powerful beings, but the family's foundation was terrifying. There were even people who were shouting, "Activate the clan's guardian killing machine and kill Su Yin." Rumble. In the vast ancestral land of the Han family, the light of order burned. Terrifying energy spread. The murderous weapons that had been sleeping for thousands of years were released. Snow-white light surged, filled with extreme killing intent. They were about to destroy a corner of the Chaos Ruins. A clan that was once glorious, a clan that originated from the mystical sect. Their foundation was so terrifying that it could scare people to death. Now, the Han clan wanted to use all of their foundation to attack the great Tao city. The clan that suppressed Su Yin spread their influence. Rumble. Especially at this moment, the entire Han family's ancestral land was filled with a world-shaking aura. The divine King Kais trembled. The blood in his body churned, and his body shook. He felt like his body couldn't take it and was about to shatter. They were extremely emotional. After all, these elders of the Han family were all divine King Kais, kings among people. But now, the aura of the Han family suddenly awakened, made them panic. They trembled and had goosebumps all over their bodies. Old ancestor, they roared out uncontrollably. Within the Han family's ancestral land, numerous people knelt on the ground. Even these 5 living fossil-level old monsters knelt on the ground and said with trembling voices, "Unfilial descendant, we let the old ancestor go. Please forgive us." The younger generation of the Han family was stunned. What was going on? The old ancestor of the Han family, who had lived for tens of thousands of years, was kneeling on the ground and trembling. Did their Han family have a powerful being? In the restricted area of the Han family's ancestral land, many ancient chaos seals exploded. Boom! Within the chaos hole, chaos light overflowed into the sky. Streams of resplendent primal chaos essence flowed out one after another. Moreover, a giant stone temple gushed out from the chaos hole. If Su Yin was here again, he would definitely be shocked. This stone temple was tall and majestic. Moreover, it gave birth to natural patterns of the great Tao and was filled with an immeasurable aura. At first glance, it looked like a condensed abyss of the great Tao. This was a supreme treasure of the great Tao that had been nurtured by the heavens. It had even formed a stone temple with the passage of time. This was a peerless Tao right, a substance that even powerful beings would covet. But the Han family had an existence with a frighteningly long lifespan who resided within this stone temple. Now that he had awakened, one could vaguely feel an extremely majestic fluctuation exploding from within. From this moment on, the vast region began to tremble. The mountains, rivers, and earth began to rumble violently. The entire region was in an uproar. They had clearly sensed the aura of a powerful being coming from the Han family. Could it be that the Han family had a powerful being overseeing it? This was something they had never expected. If news of this spread, it would surely shock the world. If it was a powerful being, then that would be heaven-defying. It was also very likely that it was an 8th-grade grandmaster with a frightening background. Old ancestor. The entire Han family was wild with excitement. A group of living fossils trembled as they led the Han family's experts forward to pay their respects and pay their respects. This stone temple that was suffused with Tao light was situated on top of a small primal chaos dragon vein. It was gushing with the immortal charm of the great Tao. Our clan actually has a primal chaos dragon vein. A few youngsters were scared stiff. This was the most powerful ancestral vein branch within the primal chaos ruins. Even the P clans rarely grasped it, but they had never thought that the Han family would have one. Why had they never heard of it before? Only the living fossils of the Han family knew that this small primal chaos dragon vein was not for them to cultivate. It was for their founding ancestor to extend his lifespan. In the entire Han family, there was only one primal chaos dragon vein. Trash! A furious roar suddenly came from within the stone temple. It was like a murderous roar that was born when the heavens were opened. The sound waves overflowed into the heavens and suppressed the heavens with rumbling sounds. Flames of fury filled the sky and covered the entire land of the Han family. All of the family members trembled. They felt like the heavens were sending down angry flames. They couldn't take it anymore as they knelt on the ground and trembled. The person in the stone temple was furious because that material was too important. It was their Han family's future hope. The Han family's ancestors were glorious. But as time went on, the Han family slowly declined, and he was the last expert of the Han family. As for the celestial path material, it was passed down from generation to generation in the Han family. Only the race leader had the right to know about it. This was a top secret, and no one knew about it. The master of the stone temple didn't have much lifespan left. So, he decided to take it out and pass it to the Han family's most outstanding master. He hoped that he could lead the Han family to rise up and even produce an expert. But now he heard shocking news. The master was killed, and the celestial path material was taken away. This made the Han family's founding ancestor go crazy. He roared out in rage. Even an expert like him couldn't take it. This was like cutting off meat from his body and also cutting off the Han family's hope. The Han family's old master and the others trembled. They didn't dare to breathe too loudly. They didn't know what the material was. The master of the stone temple didn't know much about it either. It was said that during the Han family's most glorious era, an ancestor-level existence followed a terrifying leader. Because he opened up the Forbidden Zone, he was given a ball of celestial path material. The ancestor was reluctant to use it. He passed down a message that if the Han family was at its weakest, it would allow the Han family to rise to glory once more and reach its peak. This item was the Han family's top treasure and had been passed down for a long time. However, after 1,000,000 years, the celestial path material was used when the Han family was at its weakest. But now, someone told him that it was lost and stolen. What belongs to my Han family? No one can take it away. The Han family's old monster went crazy. He lived in the last era and was lucky to obtain the stone temple. He sealed himself in this era and used the chaotic dragon vein to extend his life. Although the stone temple confused the heavens and blocked off the universe's Tao, but the essence blood in his body was still slowly being lost. Until now, his lifespan had reached its limit. Han Long, the Han family's aura, was overflowing. Millions and millions of rays of killing intent shot out. Within the family, there was a faint aura of a powerful being spreading out. It extended to the entire region and even continued to spread into the 8 desolates, 10 lands. On this day, the Han family's performance shocked the world. Many old antiques who were preparing to investigate the Han family stopped in their tracks. The Han family had a powerful being overseeing it. Who would dare to investigate the clues of the celestial path material? Because of a strand of the celestial path material, the entire primal chaos ruins were filled with chaos. It could be said that demons were dancing wildly. Of course, this was a secret belonging to the strong. The younger generation didn't know it all. And now, in the great Tao city, at night, there would occasionally be terrifying auras. It was as if many great Tao immortal furnaces were awakening. It was truly terrifying and heaven-defying. Some top experts couldn't hold back and seemed to want to make a move. Everyone in the great Tao city was anxious. The world seemed to have changed. In just a few days, a large number of top experts had gathered in the great Tao city. Their intentions were unclear. Some felt that they were targeting Su Yin. The material he obtained wasn't simple. It's getting more and more terrifying. Su Yin felt suffocated. He lived in seclusion and fused with the human-shaped puppet day by day. He tried his best to grasp the power of the Divine King. But when night came, Su Yin was a little flustered. He almost couldn't breathe. Just the formless killing intent from the great Tao city was extremely difficult for Su Yin to bear. If this wasn't the great Tao city, the city would have been destroyed. All kinds of demons and ghosts would have appeared long ago. What exactly are you? Su Yin took out the celestial path material. The prehistoric Big Brother had told him not to use it unless he had no other choice. This was a good thing, but it wasn't easy to control. One careless mistake, and he would die. As for the prehistoric Big Brother, he didn't care too much about it. On the other hand, King Kampa was bleeding profusely. His flesh was aching. He had eaten too much. Originally, he was unhappy. But in the end, the prehistoric Big Brother still gave him some pointers. This made King Kampa feel refreshed and excited. He was very respectful to the prehistoric Big Brother. When he saw him, he even bowed 3 times and kowtowed 9 times. Su Yin couldn't help but admit that God King Kongbo was too thick-skinned. Damien had called God King Kongbo Master the moment they met. King Kampa, who had been hanging around the Taoist temple all year round, had seen all kinds of things. He had even seen more than 10 powerful beings. But when it came to the prehistoric Big Brother, who was a terrifying ancient dragon, he really respected him from the bottom of his heart. Haha, Brother Su Yin, this is what you wanted. King Kampa brought Su Yin good news. With a wave of his sleeve, hundreds of heavenly treasures were thrown to him. These were the various heavenly treasures recorded in the information given to him by the prehistoric Big Brother. With King Kampa's power, it wasn't difficult to get more than 100 of them. However, the price was very expensive. King Kampa had already set the lowest price, but he still spent close to 60,000 pounds of heavenly treasures of chaos. He said that if you were to buy it yourself, the price would be at least 80,000 pounds. Report, there are more than 10 young talents from the outside world who have come to visit. There are also 2 letters of challenge. A guard outside the door reported that Su Yan's private room had now been listed as a forbidden area by King Kampa. In the past few days, there were more than 100 young talents from various races who came to see the guests. There were even more than 10 letters of challenge. Even in the Great Path City, there were famous beauties who came to visit in the dark. Their intentions were unclear. These were all sent away by Bamboo Moon, who told them not to come again. Chapter 983. In the room, more than a dozen letters of challenge floated in the air, each of them exuding an astonishing battle intent. Su Yan didn't read these letters of challenge. He knew very well that the young experts who had issued these letters of challenge were all here for the immortal Tao substance. Such a substance that could bring the dead back to life had already reached a level that could shock the entire world. But what exactly was the immortal Tao substance? Su Yan hadn't figured it out yet. Given the prehistoric Big Brother's reticent personality, if he didn't want to talk about it, Su Yan wouldn't ask. He would just let nature take its course. Brother Su Yan, you're now a big celebrity. Your name has already spread far and wide in the Chaos Ruins. King Kampa saw that another letter of challenge had been delivered. He smiled ruefully and said, "In the great Tao City, the young generation's overlords have all gathered. Even the old antiques from all walks of life have come in large batches. Even our great Tao food residence's business is booming all day long. Impressive, impressive. Your great Tao food residence is losing out. You don't even know to share some chaos treasures with me." Su Yan said with some dissatisfaction. King Kampa's face darkened. Su Yan had already profited tremendously from the battle on the Great Tao battle platform. The Heavenly Power chapter, the Immortal Tao substance, and even the Cosmic Mother liquid, the mind-assimilating drum, and even a crazy win of 50,000 kilograms of chaos treasures. What else did he want? Countless divine kings were envious, jealous, and hateful. In short, Su Yan was really a big winner. The Han family and Xiaoming's faces had turned green. There were even people who wanted to gamble with Su Yan. However, the young experts who stood out now were all confident that they were invincible among their peers. "Xiaoming hasn't delivered the rest of the Cosmic Mother liquid to me yet," Su Yan said with unusual dissatisfaction. "King Kampa, have you spread the news I asked you to?" "I don't think that's a good idea." King Kampa's face was full of reluctance. Su Yan had asked him to spread the news that Xiaoming owed him money and refused to pay up. He, the great Xiaoming, was a supreme king of the younger generation. He could not afford to lose face like this. What's wrong with that? He owes money and doesn't pay it back. How can he be reasonable? Su Yan snorted. It's impossible for Xiaoming to forget such an important matter. He actually took a few days to settle it. Tell him that not a single drop of mother fluid can be missing. King Kampa, I'll have to trouble you to spread the word that I'll give you 3 drops of mother fluid after the matter is settled. King Kampa's face was covered in tears. Only 3 drops? He had seen it clearly. This brat had given Fairy Bamboo Moon a total of 30 drops. Why was the difference so great? However, 3 drops was not a small amount. King Kampa rushed out immediately. Just as he was about to leave the great Tao food residence, Su Yan sent him another telepathic message. "Help me find out if there are any other natural treasures in other shops. This matter is a little troublesome. Add 2 more drops." King Kampa seized the opportunity to ask for a price. "I'll have to run all over the city. It's not like you don't know how big the great Tao city is. It'll take too much effort to find out about the natural treasures in other shops in such a short time. That depends on your performance." Su Yan's light voice came over, and King Kampa's face darkened. However, Su Yan was a rich man. If Su Yan really took out the mother fluid, there would definitely be a divine king working hard for Su Yin. Hopefully, I can gather a portion of it, Su Yin said in his heart. King Kampa was also a local in the Great Tao City and had a wide network. The information that Big Brother Prehistoric gave Su Yin were all natural treasures that were helpful for cultivating the body nurturing technique. Su Yin wanted to buy all of these things. Su Yin had already experienced the benefits of the body nurturing technique. Otherwise, Su Yin wouldn't have been able to defeat the Han family's master with such a domineering method on the Great Tao battle platform. Now that Su Yin was accumulating again, he naturally placed more importance on it. Right now, there were close to 200 stalks of heaven and earth treasures planted in his void medicinal field. What kind of concept was this? It was equivalent to hundreds of thousands of kilograms of chaos treasure material. The resources were planted in the herb field, and the natural treasures breathed on their own. They shone brightly and emitted divine light. Su Yan's face was filled with joy. Then, he used the body nurturing technique to seize the essence of heaven and earth. One after another, the ancient herbs shone and shook continuously. This was the purest source power within. Under the guidance of the body nurturing technique, it started to gush out. After a short flash of light, the vast life energy in the room seeped into Su Yan's sealed body. The overwhelming origin power flowed through his pores, as if it were drilling into the acupoints of a strange stone. The body nurturing technique was really magical. It seized the fortune of heaven and earth like it was nourishing a special stone and nurturing a supreme being. It is good to be rich. Su Yin was really emotional. After spending so much chaos treasure, Su Yin felt the benefits. Su Yan's sleeping aura was slowly rising, becoming thicker and thicker. It was so thick that it was terrifying. Su Yan's body was thick and heavy, as if a miniature version of a big fatty was glowing. His flesh shell was steaming with divine splendor. It was faintly discernible, as if a vast divine furnace of heaven and earth was burning. As the body nurturing technique accumulated, Su Yan's eyes opened wide. Bang! His eyes shined with a sharp light. His divine gaze was like lightning. When the golden eye of heaven opened, it was like the eye of the universe had been opened. It surged with a flow of energy that could see through the mysteries of the universe. As the heaven and earth eye opened, a blazing light filled the entire room, illuminating it. In Su Yan's eyes, vast images appeared. But even though they were vast, in front of the heaven and earth eye, they still seemed tiny. Su Yan was looking at the heavenly momentum chapter. The images in his eyes were like a magnificent corner of the universe that was unfurled. It was a massive picture scroll engraved with the sun, moon, stars, and galaxies of the universe. The heavenly momentum chapter mainly described the Great Tao diagram arranged by the momentum of the heavens. It was the same as preaching the Tao in the starry skies, grasping the strength of the universe and gathering the momentum of the heavens. It was the same as controlling a corner of the universe. This was an extremely heaven-defying secret technique. It was complex to the extreme, but Su Yin used the heaven and earth eye to comprehend it. His speed of comprehension was extremely fast. But no matter how fast he was, if he wanted to grasp the first step of the heavenly momentum chapter, he still needed a period of time to settle down and accumulate. Moreover, from observing the process, Su Yin could see that this heavenly momentum chapter wouldn't surpass the 7th grade. This was only the beginning of the heavenly momentum chapter. But as long as Su Yin grasped it, he would definitely be able to step into the ranks of the 7th grade. Most importantly, Su Yin was proficient in the transformations of the world. Once he grasped the heavenly momentum chapter, the momentum of the heavens and earth would fuse together and evolve into a boundless layout. There would be a day when he would be strong enough to stand shoulder to shoulder with the divine king's domain. He would also be able to engage in a terrifying confrontation with the divine king. Night arrived. Su Yin put away the heavenly momentum chapter and began to observe the stars in the night. When the red sun set in the west, darkness enveloped the earth. Stars twinkled in the skies as the sun and moon vied for glory. On this day, what appeared in Su Yan's eyes was a natural diagram of the great Tao, condensed within his celestial eyes. The universe was mysterious, but Su Yan had developed the eye of heaven and earth. In his divine eyes, the universe transformed into a grand diagram of the great Tao. He saw all living beings preaching the Tao in the universe, forming a space. The withered universe radiated with the aura of life. The moonlight filled the air and the stars shone brilliantly. As he looked, Su Yan discovered that in the skies above, if the starry sky Tao diagram was cut off, it would form an independent world that operated in an orderly manner. Its rules followed the order of the universe. If they are said to fuse together into one, Su Yan mumbled to himself. He wanted to continue peering into the distant regions, but he discovered that the universe was emitting an inexplicable sense of oppression that prevented Su Yan from exploring further. Is it because my ability is insufficient, or is it because of the natural oppression of the universe? Su Yan mumbled. He felt that the world was missing something. He couldn't figure it out no matter how hard he racked his brains. He sank into a deep silence. When the darkness retreated and the morning glow filled the sky, Su Yan realized that he had been standing there for an entire day. Buzz. In the morning, Su Yan took in a deep breath and exhaled the vitality of life. His body was overflowing with light, and his pores were emitting rays of light. This was the embodiment of mysticism. Su Yan seemed to have transformed into a divine moon. He was also like a god standing in the universe, sacred and solemn. It was as if he had become one with the world. I seem to have changed, Su Yan mumbled. Is it because of the effects of the body-nurturing art? It has changed some of my intrinsic qualities. The body-nurturing art can nurture the body and also nurture the life. What is so special about the inheritance that Big Brother imparted to me? Maybe after I gradually accumulate and speculate on it, I will be able to understand the profoundness on a deeper level in the future. Su Yan placed more importance on the body-nurturing art. In fact, he was only peeking at the first chapter. The 2 chapters that followed were the quintessence of the quintessence. Su Yan was looking forward to reading the profoundness of the 2 chapters. The atmosphere in the private room was quiet, but the great Tao city was bustling with noise. One night had passed, and rumors were everywhere in the city. Those who heard this were all surprised. They didn't expect Xiaoming to go back on his word. Would a top king like Xiaoming really go back on his word? That day, Su Yan did indeed win more than 100 drops of cosmic liquid. This is cosmic liquid, not an ordinary treasure at all. However, from the end of the battle on the Tao battle platform to the beginning, Xiaoming didn't even return a small amount of universe mother liquid. This is a bit unfair. A loss is a loss. Can the great Xiaoming not accept a loss? Some people couldn't stand it anymore. Xiaoming couldn't rely on his status to act unscrupulously, right? Xiaoming is really unlucky. The mind-assimilating drum fell into Su Yan's hands, and now he has lost more than 100 drops of universe mother liquid. It's a terrifying amount of wealth. In the great Tao city, rumors were incessant. When the news reached Xiaoming's official residence, a group of Xiaoming's subordinates were about to explode. A creature with a terrifying aura growled, "Bastard who spread the news. It's just a few drops of universe mother liquid. How can my master go back on his word? Su Yan is already a dead man. Why does he still want universe mother liquid? To buy a coffin?" The official residence was seething with anger, but now the news was spreading everywhere in the great Tao city. King Kampa had caused a huge commotion. What a joke. Even 10 drops of universe mother liquid was a huge amount of wealth. This thing couldn't be bought even with money. It was impossible for Xiaoming to go back on his word. Boom! In the stifling atmosphere of Xiaoming's official residence, a large hall exploded. A terrifying aura surged out like a tide, oppressing all the creatures in the official residence until they were trembling in fear. That was Xiaoming's official residence. They originally thought that Xiaoming had torn the hall apart in anger, but they didn't expect that Xiaoming was laughing at a glowing ancient array platform. His laughter shook the hall. "Master, what's the good news?" His subordinates walked forward in unison. "Ha ha!" Xiao Ming was still laughing. Finally, he said coldly, "My race already knows about the immortal Tao substance. If necessary, we can attack the great Tao city. Su Yin won't live for long." Xiao Ming's subordinates were scared witless. Was that substance really so important? Xiao Ming had the life forbidden zone behind him. If they attacked the great Tao city, it was equivalent to an almighty expert killing his way out. Moreover, they could start a war with the Tao Palace if necessary. Of course, this was a critical moment. The life forbidden zone behind Xiao Ming didn't want to fight with the Tao Palace, but if Su Yin didn't come out, then they could only use the last resort. The Nine Heavens Divine Emperor. Chapter 984. Congratulations, my lord. Congratulations. Shuiguan's residence was in an uproar. His subordinates all came forward to congratulate him. Most of them didn't know how strong the forbidden zone behind Xiao Ming was, but some of them knew very well. The power behind Xiao Ming definitely had the ability to attack Great Tao City, and they weren't worried about the Tao Temple taking revenge on them. Of course, just one drop of immortal Tao substance wasn't enough to make the people behind Xiao Ming make such a decision. The most important thing was still the uncanny craftsmanship puppets. These puppets were the most important catalyst. With the immortal Tao substance, it was completely worth the risk. If they gambled correctly, the result would be completely different. Their forbidden zone might have a super strong foundation. Immortal Tao substance, uncanny craftsmanship puppets. It's enough for my race to pay a huge price. Xiao Ming laughed loudly. Su Yin didn't have much time left. Thinking about how he trembled in front of him, Xiao Ming felt much better. "Do you think it's safe enough to hide in Great Tao City? Dream on. There really isn't anyone in this world who can stop me, Xiao Ming, from killing one person." Xiao Ming snorted coldly. He felt that the outcome had been decided. Since their forbidden zone had decided to take action, it was not a big deal to break into the Great Tao City. Although the old monsters of various clans who were entrenched in the Great Tao City were also getting restless. But some peak races didn't even know about the uncanny craftsmanship puppets. They probably wouldn't make a big move because of this. The races he was talking about were the giant races in the ancestral hall. As for the other races, they didn't pose any threat or pressure to Xiao Ming. Once they decided to attack, Su Yin wouldn't be able to live for long. "Master," someone saw that Xiao Ming was in a good mood. He hurried over and said softly, "I have something to report. The Han family's master lost miserably last time. This is about the battle." Upon hearing this, Xiao Ming's face suddenly turned cold, and his oppressive aura filled the entire residence, causing many of the combat servants to shiver. Xiao Ming sensed that there was not much tension in the atmosphere. He calmed himself down and spread out his spirit waves. He heard the discussions in the street area. Xiao Ming's face slowly darkened. Right now, the entire Great Tao City was crazily spreading the news, saying that he, Xiao Ming, didn't keep his word and reneged on the bet. He didn't deserve the title of the top king of the younger generation. "Bastard!" Xiao Ming clenched his fists and roared. "Su Yin, you dare to ruin my reputation. If I don't grind your bones and scatter your ashes, my name is not Xiao Ming." He was truly infuriated. A person like him cared a lot about his own reputation, but because he passed information to the Forbidden Zone while in seclusion, the outside world changed greatly, and there were rumors everywhere. "Master, I think we should settle this matter as soon as possible. Otherwise, if we delay it for too long, it will damage Master's reputation," his subordinate said nervously. Xiao Ming was boiling with anger. If he made up for the remaining universe Mother Liquid now, wouldn't he become a joke to others? However, if this hole couldn't be made up in time, it would indeed be a shocking blow to Xiao Ming's reputation. "Su Yin, just you wait. I'll see how many more days you can live." Killing intent rose in Xiao Ming's heart. He was a peak-stage divine king, but Su Yin was just a small heaven god. How could Xiao Ming sit still after suffering losses in the hands of a heaven god? If he didn't kill Su Yin, he wouldn't be able to vent the hatred in his heart. In the battle a few days ago, He even lost the god a simulating drum and more than 100 drops of Universe Mother liquid. Moreover, there was even a rift between him and the Han family. These few days, Han Weiran also didn't come. Xiao Ming didn't care about Han Weiran. What he cared about was the Han family's ability. In the future, whether it was the immortal graveyard or the real expedition to the ultimate land, the Realm Sea, he would need the help of the Han family's powerhouses. In short, all of this was because of Su Yin. Xiao Ming had lost too thoroughly, and he was determined to make a comeback in one go. Han family, I lost so much, and they didn't even say hello to me. Xiao Ming thought carefully. He was also extremely dissatisfied with the Han family, and his mood was abnormally irritable. Universe Mother liquid was too precious. After making up for the resources of the battle, Xiao Ming didn't have much Universe Mother liquid left on him. However, the outside world was abuzz with discussion, and Xiao Ming, who valued his reputation, could only grit his teeth. Soon, he handed over the Universe Mother liquid to the auction house, and the old people in the auction house sighed. This Xiao Ming was really rich. He had already taken out several hundred drops of Universe Mother liquid. In fact, they were even more envious of Su Yin. Because of a bet, he had become a winner in life. Brother Su Yin, I spent a Li's Qi to snatch the Universe Mother liquid from Xiao Ming's hands. King Kampa came over eagerly. His meaning couldn't be too obvious. He also needed the Universe Mother liquid. This thing was very important to King Kampa. It could make up for some of his shortcomings in the Divine King's domain. King Kampa even gave Su Yin 10 heavenly treasures, and he even inquired about the whereabouts of other heavenly treasures. Su Yin stared. What did he mean by giving him 10 heavenly treasures? Could it be that King Kampa wanted 10 drops? Seeing King Kampa, who looked like a pauper, Su Yin's face darkened, and he directly threw 10 drops of Universe Mother liquid to him. In the future, there would definitely be things that would require the help of King Kampa, the chief manager. He believed in King Kampa, who had been guided by Big Brother Prehistoric. In the future, there would definitely be a good chance for him to step into the domain of supreme beings. He would just treat it as an investment. Brother Su Yin, allow me to say a few more words. Don't stay in the Great Tao City any longer. Leave as soon as possible. King Kampa's smile quickly disappeared. His expression was solemn. In the past few days, he had discovered that there were many new faces in the Great Tao City. Their auras were very shocking, making the Tao Temple's experts feel like they were facing a great enemy. They were worried that someone would ignore the rules and attack. Once the iron law of the Great Tao City was broken, the Tao Temple would lose face. In short, if something happened to Su Yin in the Great Tao City, the #1 city in the universe would no longer be safe. The Tao Temple's losses would be even greater. I have my own plans. Su Yin nodded. In the past few days, he had made sufficient preparations. His control over the humanoid puppet had improved, and he could operate the mind-assimilating drum more freely. Most importantly, the Heavenly Influence chapter was an important hurdle in the cultivation path. As long as he had some opportunities, he could directly step into the 7th grade realm. After buying these treasures, I can leave. If I continue to accumulate my foundation in the body nurturing technique, I will be able to step into the realm of Heaven God. My cultivation speed really needs to increase. The Immortal Graveyard, the #1 land of death in the Chaos Ruins, is the highlight. That is a sea of treasures, a place where the overlords of various races compete for supremacy. There is also the hope of becoming a supreme being. There is also the reincarnation fruit. I don't know what will happen when I fight for it. Where exactly are Bao Kai and the others? I need help now. Su Yin had a sudden thought. He had been hiding in the Great Tao food residence all this time. Since news of him had leaked out, could Bao Kai and the others have already come to the Great Tao City? Perhaps they were looking for his whereabouts. Creak. The door to the secret room, where Bamboo Moon was cultivating in seclusion, opened, and a vast divine aura rushed out. Su Yan's eyes scanned over, and he saw a dazzling star in the universe that transformed into a woman with exceptional beauty. Her aura suppressed the sea of stars in the universe. She then transformed into a divine moon from the 9 heavens, illuminating the entire universe. Finally, the vision exploded, and a graceful figure with undulating curves appeared. She stood tall in the blurry sea of stars, filled with destruction and new life. Su-Yin was moved. He saw the sea of stars giving birth to a sky full of suns, moons, and stars. He also saw the suns and moons being destroyed, and the sea of stars heading toward collapse. All of this originated from this peerlessly beautiful figure. She was evolving 2 kinds of Tao fruits, the coexistence of destruction and new life. Even King Kampa was shocked. Bamboo Moon's aura was much stronger than Hanweiran's. Even her physique was extremely unique. It also had the fusion of destruction and new life, forming the chaotic sea of stars that suppressed the world. A peerless deity, the divine king Kambi commented. This was definitely the style of a peerless deity. The sky bamboo lineage had given birth to an extraordinary woman. The divine king was infinitely close to Bamboo Moon. Without a doubt, Bamboo Moon had cultivated the secret technique passed down to her by her big brother. This technique allowed her combat strength to multiply, and with the universe's mother liquid to perfect her foundation, Bamboo Moon was able to touch the peak, but there was also a tendency to move from the peak to a new domain. What was this? Bamboo Moon was also shocked in the process of cultivation. The secret technique passed down to her by her big brother had broken some kind of convention. Big brother, I'll buy some things needed for the body nurturing technique. Then I can set off to pick the reincarnation fruit. Su-Yin said to his big brother, who was drinking wine. King Kampa was shocked when he heard this. Su-Yin knew the whereabouts of the reincarnation fruit. However, since he was bringing a mighty figure with him, King Kampa didn't ask too much. Bamboo Moon. Su-Yin looked at her again. After a moment of silence, he said, "The road ahead is dangerous. Big brother will definitely be safe with me." But Su-Yin wanted to say something, but stopped. He didn't want Bamboo Moon to follow him. If they encountered a difficult problem, Bamboo Moon would also be in trouble. He was afraid that it would affect Bamboo Moon's position in the family. It's fine. Bamboo Moon's steps were light, and her snow-white skin emitted the aura of the great Tao. She said softly, "Big brother passed down the secret technique to me. I can be considered half a disciple of Big brother. Since you're going to pick the reincarnation fruit, I want to follow you." Su-Yin was stunned. It seemed like Bamboo Moon also knew about the reincarnation fruit. The sky bamboo lineage also knew about it. All right. Su-Yin didn't say anything else. King Kampa had told him many places where he could buy the things needed for the body nurturing technique. Just like that, the 3 of them walked out of the Great Tao food residence. Actually, when they walked out of the door, the entire Great Tao city seemed to have been revived. Terrifying light filled the air, and an invisible field extended, covering the vast Great Tao city. In the Great Tao city, the hands and feet of all living beings in the universe turned cold. It was as if they had fallen into an ice cave. They were terrified and uneasy. What was going on? Why was the Great Tao city suddenly so unstable? It was as if the gods and demons had descended, breaking the peace of the Great Tao city and suffocating them. Some people even felt that the Great Tao city was about to explode. This was nothing but a small wave in the dark surging tide. Boom! A terrifying aura passed by. It was a figure with divine light. Just the leakage of his aura had caused a huge tremor. Zhu Tian of the Ancestral Palace. All living beings lost their color. No one expected that the first to step out would be Zhu Tian of the Ancestral Palace. Su-Yan's entire body shone with divine light. His eyes were like lightning, and his body also rippled with a terrifying aura. He faced the attack and intertwined with Zhu Tian's aura. Many buildings seemed to be about to collapse. Everyone was in an uproar. Was the great battle about to start again? The Great Tao battle platform was about to be stained with the blood of all the supreme beings. Su-Yin. However, the outcome shocked them. The sun in the distance covered the sky, and blood essence crushed the heavens. divine might suppress the heavens. What was that? Sun Dome, sagely battle god, heaven-suppressing battle god, North demon. Terrifying figures were faintly discernible, as if they were standing at the peak of all living beings, looking down on the world and possessing invincible divine might. They were actually all here for Su Yin. In the great Tao city, dragons and tigers coiled, and their divine might suppress the heavens and the earth. This confrontation was enough to make all living beings panic and tremble. Moreover, this invincible might directly covered Su Yin and crushed him into the abyss, never to be free for the rest of his life. So they're all here. However, the heavens and earth rumbled, and a ferocious might was released. Smoke billowed. The heavens couldn't suppress his sharpness, and the despairing world couldn't cover Su Yan's spirit. His long black hair draped over his shoulders, and his majestic appearance revealed the might of gods and demons splitting the heavens. His aura swallowed the starry sky, as if gathering the essence of the vast world and the origin of all the kings in the world. He released a terrifying demeanor of a king as he shouted coldly, "Are you in a hurry to die? 9 Heavens Divine Emperor." Chapter 985. Strange phenomena appeared in the city of Tao. It was a magnificent scene that shook the world. Once in a lifetime, an old man shouted with a trembling voice. At this moment, which one of them wasn't the invincible Ingjia? Which one of them wasn't a peerless expert of the same generation? Which one of them wasn't a young overlord that attracted the attention of the world? The spectators were all agitated. This was a big event. Su Yin had made the entire world his enemy. The ancestral heavens swallowed 100,000 miles. He was mysterious and terrifying. He stood between the heaven and earth, filled with invincible divine might. In between his brows, the symbol of invincibility of the ancestral heaven was faintly appearing. His ferocious aura shook the heavens and suppressed the surroundings. He stood out to confront Su Yin. Arrogant. The North Beast's majestic appearance was shocking. He stood in the sky like the king of demon gods. His hair danced in the wind as his entire body rippled with the terrifying aura of a king of demon gods. Behind him, a huge silhouette appeared. It was like a qilin that pierced through the heavens. Although the South Emperor was silent, he appeared majestic in his calmness, as if he was the emperor of men. Thousands of imperial draconic auras rose with him, faintly forming a golden age of the ecliptic. It revealed an extremely magnificent brilliance. Within it, there were thousands of living beings bowing to him. It was like an emperor patrolling the heavens. Su Yin, you are too arrogant. Sun Dome burned the world as he bathed in the divine flames of the 9 heavens. It was as if he was in a sea of fire. Many suns were born with him. When the 9 suns appeared in the sky, they directly exploded with the formation of 9 suns shaking the heavens. Sun Dome, the number 1 expert of the younger generation of the 9 Yang sect, also had a supreme body. At this moment, Sun Dome's divine might was overwhelming. There was also a ball of primordial fire burning in his body. It could easily destroy the world. Have you gone mad? The sagely battle god laughed angrily. The imperishable body glowed with terrifying blood essence that could easily destroy the heaven and earth. It was like a burning furnace of heaven and earth. The blood essence was even more terrifying and ferocious than the ocean. The heaven suppression battle god didn't say a word. However, his divine might shook the heavens as he emitted an immeasurable pressure that suppressed the surroundings. It made the onlookers suffocate and tremble. Other than that, there were other young overlords who were emitting their own auras. In the city of the Great Tao, a storm was brewing again. The heroes fought for glory, but they only had one goal, and that was to suppress Su Yan's ferocious might. Su Yan had destroyed the Han family master with one punch. Some invincible young overlords of the Chaos Ruins thought that this was a humiliation of the Chaos Ruins. They had to use Su Yan's blood to wash away this humiliation and establish their position as the young overlord of the Chaos Ruins. Rumble, waves after waves of invincible might filled the sky, and formed a cruel suppression on Su Yin. No matter how strong Su Yin was, his figure was still blurry, as if he was imprisoned in the abyss, crushed in the long river of history, disappearing from the world. Mother of Asterisk, you're bullying us because we have fewer people. I really hope that Yuan and the others will come out of seclusion soon. When the time comes, we brothers will join hands and be able to cut through gold. Little Lion King and the others rushed over. They were all furious, and their eyes were about to pop out. They wanted to stand out and walk together with Su Yin. Isn't Su Yin too arrogant? There were many onlookers here. Someone frowned and said, "What kind of situation is this?" Even Xiaoming wouldn't dare to be careless. However, Su Yin actually said that they were in a hurry to die. Some people say that Su Yin has gone crazy. I think that's the case. Young man, an expert from the older generation, said coldly, "If you were him, would you have the guts to say such a thing?" Su Yin is a true overlord. He has an unparalleled aura. No wonder he is the strongest of the young generation of the Burial Region race. Those who looked down on Su Yin were silent. If they were in this situation, they would have long since given up and surrendered. However, Su Yin was still standing proudly, looking down on the crowd with disdain. He was full of the aura of a king. This showed that Su Yin had already cultivated an invincible belief. So what if he was unparalleled in the world? He still had a terrifying belief that he could slaughter his way out and rule the world. He was unparalleled in his generation. A group of scoundrels. I, Su Yin, am not afraid of you. As Su Yin laughed angrily, the wind and clouds changed and gods and demons howled. His sealed body was about to awaken and release the supreme deterrent force of an ancient dragon. Su Yin is really arrogant. Isn't he afraid of dying without a burial ground? There are many outstanding people in this world. Currently, 10 to 20% of the top overlords of the younger generation have gathered here. However, Su Yin actually has the guts to utter such words. I think that this person is most likely crazy. Many mocking voices came from afar. They had great origins and were not afraid of Su Yin. They felt that the Great Tao City was his grave. If it weren't for the rules of the Great Tao City, Su Yin would have most likely died. Do you dare to fight on a Great Tao battle stage? The sagely battle god roared. He couldn't watch any longer and released the indestructible body. The supreme power of the same generation spread. A terrifying, indestructible divine might was about to strike out and destroy Su Yin. Do you think I'm afraid of you? If you want to die, then get on the stage. Su Yin pointed at the sagely battle god and shouted. Today, even if the art of body nurturing broke through the seal again, Su Yin would still kill a few people on the Great Tao battle stage. The few people from the He family hurriedly stepped out and pulled the sagely battle god out. Su Yin was too confident. It was hard to guarantee that he would be able to kill a few people in his crazed state. The Han family's master realm master had been killed by Su Yin. This was a bloody fact. He didn't even use any tricks during the process. Who knew what inheritance and gains he had obtained at the peak of God Burial Mountain? It wasn't wise for the sagely battle god to get on the stage now, because no one knew how strong Su Yin was at the peak of the Great Tao City. There was an uproar. What was going on? The He family forbade Su Yin from getting on the stage? Were they afraid of Su Yin? The sagely battle god was furious. He was confident that he could destroy Su Yin with the indestructible body. However, the He family didn't think so. They felt that Su Yin still had trump cards. The sagely battle god wasn't suitable to fight against a crazed Su Yin. Let me. The northern demon had just stood up when Su Yin scolded him. Shut up. My brother will come and take your life. Otherwise, do you think you would have been able to make it to the peak of the chaotic divine mountain in the chaos passageway? You are too arrogant. The North Beast was furious. A terrifying king of the monster path aura exploded and covered the sky. The Qilin appeared behind him and was about to shatter the stars with its roar. It showed off the North Beast's top combat strength. Stop. How can the Great Tao City allow you to use force? At this moment, in the City of the Great Law, the cultivators from the Holy Ji Temple quickly rushed over. The leading general roared, You bunch of juniors, do you think you have the right to behave atrociously here? Whoever dares to make a move will be killed on the spot. The guard of the great Tao city charged over. The leader was the divine king, and they all looked unfriendly. The rules of the great Tao city couldn't be broken because of these people. Su Yin, if you want to leave the city, come and find me. The heaven-suppressing battle god's cold voice suddenly rang out. If you don't know what's good for you, no one can save you. The Almighties can't protect you. I advise you to think carefully. You don't have much time left. Su Yin sneered in his heart. Was the heaven-suppressing battle god representing the Almighties? What a good plan. If they let him out of the city, they would be able to obtain the immortal Tao substance smoothly. Now that the guards of the great Tao city were serious, the North Beast and the others didn't dare to act rashly. However, their faces were cold. Su Yin was trapped in the great Tao city and couldn't leave in a short time. It would definitely delay his golden years of cultivation. In the current era, where the immortal graveyard was about to open, every day was important to them. Delaying even one day would be a fatal threat in the future. None of them wanted to fall behind others in the future. Zhu Tian and the others are really scary. The experts of the older generation could feel the power and prosperity of Emperor Nan's group. Their accumulations in the heavenly god realm were getting stronger day by day. After all, their clans secretly control the universe's secret realms, allowing them to squander resources to their heart's content. Then, for the cultivators in the world, the cultivation time from the heavenly god realm to the peak of the heavenly god realm could easily reach 1,000 years. Even the extremely talented ones would need 100 years. However, for Zhu Tian and the others who had an extraordinary foundation, this period of time would be extremely compressed. Perhaps in a few short years, they could soar to the peak of the heavenly god realm. The situation in the great Tao city was turbulent. The younger generation couldn't sit still, and the older generation was also restless. In short, the great Tao city was filled with killing intent. A shocking change was about to happen. Perhaps it wouldn't be long before a huge change would occur. I'll wait for you at the great Tao battle platform. Zhu Tian and the others retreated one after another. At this juncture, they didn't want to become the target of the guards of the great Tao city. Will Su Yin go to the great Tao battle platform to fight with them? It's hard to say. I don't know what he's going to do next. In short, he doesn't dare to leave the great Tao city. Once he leaves the great Tao city, what awaits him will be a crushing death. Let's wait and see. I have a feeling that something big will happen in the next few days. The onlookers discussed. This area was still filled with a suffocating pressure. Now, there were enough experts from various clans gathered in the great Tao city. Even the old monsters who didn't care about worldly affairs had appeared here. As for Su Yin, he went directly to the nearest shop, preparing to buy heavenly treasures that were useful for his body-nurturing technique. Although Su Yin had 50,000 kilograms of chaos treasures in a bet, it really wasn't enough. After going to more than 10 shops, he was left with less than 20,000 kilograms of chaos treasures. However, Su Yin's void herb field was also full of heavenly treasures. If he continued to buy, there was no space left in his herb field to plant all kinds of heavenly treasures. I'm almost out of money. Also, according to King Kompa's information, there are only a few shops left. The moment Su Yin lifted his foot to leave this shop, he vaguely felt the dormant bloodline in his body flow faster. A familiar aura rippled in his body, causing Su Yin's emotions to surge. The aura of his bloodline. This was the clansmen of the burial region secretly activating their bloodline to send a signal to Su Yin. Are they here? Su Yin clenched his fists. Could it be Bao Kai and the others? At this critical moment of life and death, Su Yin was in danger of being crushed at any moment. Only those old brothers of his would stand out and fight with him at this dangerous moment. What Su Yin didn't know was that in the life-forbidden zone where Yi Yuan and the others had experienced life and death, 3 heavenly lights erupted one after another. They tore through the sky, pierced through the universe, and were about to shake down the universe that was stained with blood. Ha ha! We've finally broken through. We can leave seclusion now. Yuan and Tensor's aura was powerful. They emitted the aura of blood and fire. For a moment, the heavens and earth shook and the sun and moon lost their light. Boom! A giant creature carried them down the forbidden mountain. Its figure traversed the heavens, crushing the void and causing it to rumble. Its body emitted the ominous aura of the king of all beasts, causing the 100,000 mountains to tremble and collapse. Earth's 3 tigers descend the mountain. I wish everyone a happy Queen's Day. There is one more chapter tonight. Chapter 986. Su Yin stood in this shop for a long time before he began to walk towards the place where his bloodline sensed. Soon, he came to a place that specialized in providing cultivators for cultivation. This was also the property of the Tao Temple. It was heavily guarded, and no one dared to cause trouble here. Some of the experts who were secretly following Su Yin could only stare. They were also puzzled. How could Su Yin still have the mood to come here to cultivate at a time like this? Could this guy still be calm? In this large-scale cultivation place, there were tight formations between the secret rooms to ensure the safety and concealment of the guests. In the hall of this place, there were a few cultivators who were renting secret cultivation rooms. As soon as he arrived, Su Yan's eyes locked onto a burly man. The little Lion King did not hide his appearance at all. With his weight, the ancestral hall had not reached the point where they would chase after the little Lion King. In the Chaos Ruins, who would know who the little Lion King was? It's them. Su Yin was pleasantly surprised. He did not expect to see the little Lion King. Since he was here, it meant that Bao Kai and the others had left the Milky Way galaxy long ago. They must be in the Chaos Ruins now. Perhaps they were all gathered here. Su Yin, the little Lion King's heart was rippling with joy as he sent a voice transmission. We rented the Heaven Room 5. Su Yin walked over and told the manager that he wanted to rent a Heaven-class private room. The manager greeted Su Yin warmly. The rental fee for a Heaven-class private room was not low. It cost 100 kilograms of primordial chaos material a year. Su Yin paid a month's rent and was led to the Heaven Room by a maid. The entire Sky-class training area was isolated by a large array. When Su Yin arrived at this area, he had already noticed the Sky-class private room 5. He called out to the leading maid. When the little maid looked back, her eyes instantly became lifeless. This was because Su Yan's pupils were emitting a strange luster. When a universal eye opened and closed, it directly controlled the little maid's heart and soul. Su Yan will be here soon. At this moment, little Lion King was waiting anxiously in the secret training room. Soon, there was a knock on the door. They were pleasantly surprised. When they opened the door, they saw Su Yin and the other 2 standing outside. 2 men and 1 woman. Su Yin had very little impression of them. The little Lion King was the most outstanding descendant of the Blood Lion Divine King. They had once fought side by side in the Milky Way. The other black-robed man carried a dark sword embryo on his back. His entire body emitted a sword intent that could shatter mountains and shatter seas. His name was Yi Yongning, and Su Yin had a deep impression of him. He had once killed a heavenly god with a single sword strike. During the war in the Milky Way galaxy, Yi Yongning was the only God Realm expert among the younger generation of the Burial Realm race. The other woman was called Xiaoyu. She was related to Xiahou by blood. She had awakened the bloodline in her body and returned to the bloodline domain. Her battle prowess had surpassed Yi Yongning. She was a heavenly deity. Little Lion King, Yi Yongjian, Xiaoyu. 3 experts, 2 peak God Realm experts, and 1 heavenly God Realm expert. The 3 rising stars of the younger generation of the Burial Realm race all had extremely strong battle prowess among their peers. Ha ha ha! Loud laughter came from the secret room. It had been a few years. Although they had only fought side by side once, they were connected by blood. At this moment, they were especially excited. You guys have changed a lot. Little Lion King, you have stepped into the peak God Realm. Su Yin was a little surprised. He realized that the 3 bloodline clansmen were extremely strong. He was surprised and happy. We are very lucky. It was the old leader who sent us to a dangerous place to train. Yi Yongjian's eyebrows were sword-like. he said in a sonorous voice. It's a pity that our potential is a little lacking. Even if Xia Yu didn't increase her strength, she wouldn't have stepped into the heavenly deity realm. Su Yin was moved. It was the old leader who sent them out and even sent them to the dangerous place to train. That period of time was very unforgettable for them. Some of their companions didn't make it and died. Little Lion King even said, if Yi Yuan and the others return, there will be great changes. According to the old leader, if we can pass through that dangerous place, the fortune we will gain will be no less than a peak universe secret region. What? Bamboo Moon's beautiful face turned pale. The value of a peak universe secret region was too terrifying. Even if this thing was discovered by a peak universe secret region, it would be kept a secret. This was because these peak universe secret regions gave birth to unimaginable fortunes. Sometimes it would cause great powers to fight over it. Moreover, the old leader once explored this place of fortune and took away the strongest fortune. According to the old leader, its value is almost comparable to an incomplete universe secret region. Xia Yu said with a smile. Her eyes were very big and curved into the shape of a crescent moon. This was also the property of their burial region race. For a great being like the old leader, he had been adventuring in the chaos ruins for a long time. He had discovered many places of fortune, but this place of fortune was the most shocking. Long ago, the old leader had secretly set up a domain crossing array, which was why they could directly pass through the dangerous place. However, the greatest fortune of the dangerous place had already been dug out by the old leader, so the danger had decreased by a lot. Otherwise, it would be extremely difficult for Yi Yuan and the others to pass through the entire universe secret region. No matter what, when Bao Kai and the others left the mountain, there would be great changes. After such a long period of life and death training, their future achievements would be great. They would be able to shelter the burial region race from the wind and rain. That's great. Su Yin clenched his fists tightly. When he met up with Bao Kai and the others, why would he be afraid of the North Demon and the others? Even though Tensor was a great being from the Zhang family village, he had the first-generation sovereign body. Bao Kai was an even greater variable. Su Yin believed that when they all grew up, they would definitely be the most terrifying new force of the burial region race. Su Yin, long story short, the Great Dao City is too dangerous. When are you going out? Little Lion King's face was full of worry. Haha, it's fine. I'm relieved to hear news of you guys in the Great Dao City. Su Yan's eyes flashed with a trace of cold light. He said to them, hurry up and leave the city now. Go and inform Yi Yuan and the others that we. Su Yin took out a topographic map and told them the location of the incomplete universe. Next, Su Yin was going to seize the reincarnation fruit. He needed help by his side. You want us to leave the city now? Little Lion King's hesitation made Su Yin smile mysteriously. Don't worry. I was the one who caused this calamity. Naturally, I have a way to deal with it. Now, time is tight. It's not suitable for you guys to stay here for too long to prevent others from discovering our relationship. It's good that you have a countermeasure. Little Lion King scratched his head. Although he didn't know what trump card Su Yin had, if he could kill his way out of this situation, it would definitely cause a sensation in the vast universe. However, before they left, they wanted to leave something for Su Yin. This was a protective item refined by the old leader. Even if a great being attacked secretly, it would be able to defend against a few attacks. I don't need this item. You guys keep it well. Don't worry about me. Little Lion King, you guys set off as soon as possible. Go and gather Yi Yuan and the others. We still have important matters to attend to. Su Yin was filled with anticipation. He would soon be able to fight side by side with a group of old brothers. He was determined to get the reincarnation fruit. Su Yin had also studied this item during this period of time. This item might be a vital help to Su Yin at the moment of his breakthrough. After waiting for Little Lion King and the others to leave for a while, Su Yin wasn't prepared to continue staying in the Great Dao City. It's time to leave the city. I want to see how many monsters will jump out. Su Yan's eyes were filled with murderous intent. It was best to go to the ancestral palace. Now that they had sent people, this matter had blown up enough. There were countless great beings from all walks of life eyeing him. If he could wipe them all out, it would definitely shock the world. Su Yin left Tianzi room number 3. He returned to the Great Tao food residence. Along the way, there were many divine senses that were secretly paying attention to Su Yin. He even felt uneasy when he was strolling outside the city. It was constantly exposed in the eyes of some people. There was definitely a big shot making a move and observing his every move. Su Yin sat in his room for an entire day. When night fell, Su Yin was prepared to leave. Buzz! In the night, half of the Great Tao city suddenly shone with divine light. Many extremely sharp pupils opened their heavenly eyes and looked at Su Yin from afar at the Great Tao food residence. In the heavily guarded Great Tao food residence, tens of thousands of space-time ripples surged out in an instant. The ripples spread out in all directions at an extremely fast speed. At this moment, the Great Tao city seemed to have turned into the purgatory of gods and demons. Terrifying light beams surged, making the city extremely radiant. However, this wasn't fireworks. It was a piercingly cold, murderous intent. In the entire city, countless cultivators slumped to the ground, trembling. It was as if they were facing a group of demons that had killed their way out of purgatory. They were scared to death. What are they trying to do? The strong cultivators of the older generation were all terrified. Were these people going to make a move tonight and overturn the entire Great Tao food residence? Were they going to use force in the Great Tao city? This city was guarded by the Tao Temple's old antiques. Who would dare to behave atrociously here? Were they going to use the power of a powerful cultivator? However, if Su Yin alone was so important, there must be other things that attracted them. They couldn't control themselves and wanted to kill him. Boom! The darkness dissipated. The Great Tao city was brightly lit. Waves of energy surged out one after another. Vast divine might filled the heavens and the earth. This was a terrifying change. Immediately, a cultivator with heavenly eyes exclaimed, Su Yin is going to escape the city tonight. He's using a special secret technique to create tens of thousands of traces. He's going to escape the city. The entire Great Tao city was in an uproar. Some people even sighed. It was really scary to be able to survive until now. So many people wanted his life. How many people could be as ruthless as him in the past? How sad. Some people felt that this was Su Yan's tragedy. Unfortunately, he received a life-saving item from the Han family's master realm. Although they didn't know what that item was, it was definitely a shocking treasure to be able to cause so many old monsters to fight in the Great Tao city. The city was in chaos. Various demons and ghosts hiding in the dark frantically locked onto the space-time traces and chased in the real direction that Su Yin escaped to. However, taking advantage of the chaos in the city, few people would have thought that Su Yin and the other two didn't leave through space at all. Let's go. Su Yin walked out of the Great Tao food residence and rushed to the fourth city gate with extreme speed. Although the guards at the city gate were facing a great enemy, they wouldn't interrogate the guests too much. Since ancient times, the Great Tao city hadn't prohibited any cultivators from entering. It was fine as long as they didn't cause trouble in the city. However, just as Su Yin was about to leave the city gate, a victorious voice sounded in the darkness. Brother Su, did the Great Tao city treat our guests poorly? Why are you leaving in such a hurry? I've always wanted to send you off. His last sentence contained a kind of coldness that made the guards at the city gate tremble. Their hands and feet turned cold. This was a kind of killing intent that suppressed the entire city gate. Nine Heaven's Divine Emperor.